All right. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan Fulford here in my home studio. Kelvin Rozier standing along a brick wall. That means he's working.
I'm working. That's right. I'm
working.
I'm on location. You got
on location in a secret location somewhere in the state of Florida.
A beautiful location.
Oh, okay. You play where's
right.
Where's Kelvin? Where's Kelvin? Right. It's like a special Where's Waldo edition. Where's Kelvin at today?
Pin the donkey on Kelvin.
Where is Kelvin? Exactly. Where is Kelvin? Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. We got a loaded show for you tonight. A great show in store for you tonight. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and the like button early as often as you can. I want to say hello to all of the folks who are watching us wherever you're watching us. You're watching us on YouTube, Jericho Broadcast Network's Black College Sports Network YouTube page, my JBN Online, where you can go be a member of the channel. Join us. You also might be watching us on our own O&G StrikeZone YouTube page. All of those pages, you can join the chat. Facebook, Black College Sports Network, O&G StrikeZone. Hello to everyone on X, Twitter, as I still like to call it, Instagram Live, all of those places. You can donate to the show hitting the QR code directly to us. Cup of coffee helps keep this thing functioning. This is the only time we'll kind of put our own special QR code because we got other things that we're raising for. But hey, if you want to donate to the show, because we got a great show for you tonight. We always bring the heat. We always bring some great shows. But all of your contributions to the show, and all we ask is a cup of coffee, right? I mean, cup of coffee, slice of pizza, whatever you want to do. It's all appreciative. It's all love. Means a lot to us. Helps us pay the bills, keep the lights on. Helps keep Kelvin traveling so that he can dial in remotely. Helps keep me going, and eventually we will have Marcus Green. Helps keep Marcus Green showing up whenever we can get him because he's a busy man, and he will be joining us later in the show. So we say we got all that. But, hey, coming up on tonight's show, we've got some great guests coming up. At the bottom of hour one, Marvin Green, of the FAMU Foundation, who is the chief. I had the title specifically all figured out. It was the what's the official title for Marvin? Outside of being the president of the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. Help me out here with the title, Kelvin.
I wish I'm gonna let him tell what his official title is. All I know, he's the man that
major
fundraiser for. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hold on. I wrote it down here. I feel that's shameful. Shameful of me for not being able to know it. Major donation chief officer, something like that. I don't know. I'm sorry, Marvin. I'm gonna get it right when you come back. When you get major gift officer, God bless it. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Appreciate you, Amy, Elizabeth Sports Management. God, I feel so ashamed. I'm sorry, Marvin. My apologies. We'll get it right here. I'm going to put it in the show script so that way I don't screw it up when we do the introduction here. Major gift officer. And then, of course, at the top of hour two, our head coach, our head ball coach, none other than Quinn Fordham Gray.
Yeah, I got to bother him about that. I never knew his middle name all this time.
You will have to ask him about. Yeah, we will have to ask him what, because I never knew it either. I never knew it. I mean, it's maybe that's something you do as you get older and you get grown. You start using your whole middle name, or we'll ask. You can ask him about that.
Or maybe a serial killer.
See, wow, stop it. Jesus Christ. Man, holy cow. But yeah, I heard Keith was getting on him, put some respect on Quinn F. Gray Sr. That's so when you officially start coming at people like that with the middle initial and everything. And then coming up at the bottom of hour two, new guest for the show, Tony T.A. Austin. You might better know him if you are someone who loves HBCU track and field. You probably are following his account at HBCU_track_field on Twitter, or maybe you're following it and you go check the website, HBCUtrackandfield.wordpress.com. But Tony Austin will come in and join the show at the bottom of hour 2. What can we say? FAMU track killing it indoors, right?
Already. We got some folks who like in the nation and internationally top 5s. So yeah.
Yes. Already killing it. So we'll talk to him about that, give a chance to kind of, so we've got everything to talk about from basketball, big time suite. The Louisiana purchase was ours. Can't wait to see our Louisiana friends come in the show. We're gonna get him hell. But we love our Louisiana folks. But
what's up, MMO?
Yeah. What up, Chuck Hunt?
What's up, Carlos?
Yeah, we love our Louisiana family. So we're gonna mess with them a little bit. And of course, there's always some news in the recruiting transfer portal. We are coming up towards the end of week 2. This is the final week. Last days are coming up here. So by the time Coach comes on, obviously Coach won't be able to talk much about that kind of stuff, but we got Marcus Green, and Marcus Green will. He got all of it. So we'll talk about that. And then I've been doing some various clipping from the press conference, the introduction of John F. Davis, as well as Quinn Gray. I've been doing some clipping. We'll see what overtime looks like. We'll start calling after 10 o'clock overtime, Kelvin, because technically our show is supposed to end at 10, but if you know, you know. If you know our show,
3 hours strong.
We go overtime. So we'll call it the overtime segment, and we might get into, I've been clipping some things, and I was going back and listening, and very interesting stuff. And I don't know if, because we were so wrapped up and wanted to pay attention to what Quinn had to say, some people might have missed the 13 to 14 minutes that John F. Davis was at the podium. I'm just saying, there were some things that he said, kind of interesting. Yeah. And I feel like I have somebody in you, Kelvin, that maybe can help decipher and decode some of the things that were said. We'll see. We'll see how that looks. The commitments are coming in left and right. So let's get to the roll call. And then I'll put up the normal chat here as always. Again, the QR code in the top is to donate to the O&G StrikeZone. If you want to, that's via the Cash App, $MyJBN, MyBCSN. You can always leave a super chat right there on our YouTube page, JBN Online, as well. Kenneth, we say hello to you. We appreciate you coming in. We say hello, Ken. We say Jimmy Mack. What up, Jimmy Mack? Also in there. Bull's in early. What up, Bull? Good to see you. We all in for Quinn. That's right. That's us. Good to see everybody again. Marvin Allen checking in. Good to see you, Marvin. Christopher Dukes, put him up.
What's
Good
up,
to see
Dukes?
you, Chris. Good to see you. Ashton, good to see you, Ashton, checking in.
What's going on, Ash?
JT Money, JT in the house. Good to see you, JT. Meredith, good to see you, Meredith.
Hey,
thank you
Meredith.
for being a JBN subscriber. VM Matt, checking in. I did watch the 220 Club. And then it kind of, I guess it went black and they were taking pictures. I don't know what I saw in the last 30 minutes, or I don't think I saw anything, but I saw what I saw. So I don't know. VM Mac, give us some bullets on what you saw.
I was rolling. I was
heading
south. So I hadn't seen nothing yet.
All right. Makiba West, good to see you. Thanks for checking in with us.
What's up, Kiba?
Let me see. Who is this? GDI Press. Thank you for checking in.
All in for sure.
All in for sure. Joel Banks.
What's up, Joe
checking
Banks?
in from Bowie, Maryland. Okay. Oh, I know it's cold up there, Bowie, Maryland.
Yeah.
I know it's cold. It's about to get cold in a lot of places in the South.
It's supposed to be like 38 where I'm at.
Hey,
And
no,
by Friday. By
no,
Friday,
not where you are. Where
yes.
you in your that's at home, and your hometown is about to be cold like that.
They say it's gonna be cold down here. In Charlotte. When you get to Charlotte, that's where I was. They say in Charlotte it's supposed to get down to like 38. Charlotte County.
Mary's down in South Florida. Mary, what's supposed to be like this weekend? Please define.
Port Charlotte.
Port Charlotte, yes. Port Charlotte. Yeah, okay. Good to see you, Mary. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Nehemiah Jefferson, thanks for checking in. What up? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in the chats in a while, so it's good to see you. Our good friend Marcus. Good to see you, Marcus.
What's up, Marcus?
Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. Hey, bundle up, Marcus. It's getting cold. It's about to get real cold from what I saw. Might even see some snow. Kev from Tally.
What's up, Kev?
Buckle up, Kev. Snowman's coming. Again, thank you, Amy Elizabeth, for checking in. Thank you for also for the update and the info. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in via Facebook. Gotta love it. Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. My dog Ryan checking in. What's up, man? Good to see you.
What's going on, Ryan?
I can see you in the chats in a minute. Good to have you. Good to have you back in there. Let me see. Tim Young checking in on Facebook. Good to see you, Tim. Tamara T.
At the basketball game.
Hey, good to see you, Tamara.
I ain't gonna tell on you, Tamara. I ain't gonna tell you when you left the game.
Hey, Tamara don't. All I'm gonna say is Tamara don't play.
She had a reason. She had a reason though.
Hey, Tamara don't play. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say, Tamara.
Hey, go ask. Go talk to Office Communications.
Hey, you got to go talk. Well, what you got to go? I love it, Tamara. That's way to get him. Z checking in. Good to see you, man. Little baby. Good to see you, little baby. What's right,
up, little baby?
Hitman checking in.
What's up, Hitman?
Freezing, Charlestown, South Carolina. Woo! Yeah, I bet. You're about to get a snow blast too. It looked like from what I saw from the weather report. Alice McCullough in the 561 checking in.
Up,
good
Alice?
to see you.
That's Palm Beach in the house.
Yeah, Palm Beach in the house. Good to see you back in with us. Carrie Daniels, good to see you, Carrie. Duval in the house. Ron Jab checking in.
What's up, Jab?
Good stuff. B Starks in the ATL.
What's going on, B Starks?
Zeke said we got another one. Is that another one on top of the one that I screwed? I missed one apparently. That's on me.
The kid from Alabama State finally was official.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate my dog. My dog, Mr. Campbell, got to set me right there. I was thinking, I had to. Mr. Campbell said it was, so it was. But shout out to for Steve for checking in. Chuck Hunt, how we doing, Chuck?
Nashville, Tennessee.
He might want to be in Nashville after that whooping the Rattlers put on them 2 Louisiana schools. But it's all good, Chuck. It's all good. It's all good.
I don't know why their coach said he was a mess. He wasn't choked up like that. He ain't missing us that bad.
He ain't missing us that bad. Not that bad. What up, NC Rattler? Good to see you. Good to see you. O&G After Dark. Maybe that's what we call the last hour. O&G After Dark.
All right.
Okay.
It got a ring to it.
Maybe. It does have a ring to it. Let me see. So
she ain't going to the Miami game. She ain't want to give up them four grand.
Who?
Satet.
She didn't want to get what? Man.
She didn't want to get she was trying to get them tickets now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how many of my people from my home state are coming down. Probably the whole state's coming down south. Look, I learned my lesson back in 2013. I learned my lesson when I went up to Georgia. I'm just gonna sit back and watch on TV until it actually happens. I hope it happens for Hoosier Nation, but I've been disappointed twice before. I ain't going. I'm not going. I ain't gonna be the bad luck for the Hoosiers. Sorry. I learned my lesson. What up, Keith? Good to see you, man. Thank you. Exactly. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Demetra checking in. Good to see
What's
you,
up?
Demetra.
Well, my dog. That's my dog.
Rick checking
What's
in.
up,
Good
Rick?
to see you, Rick. EA. EA won't stop putting that pressure on the administration. I love it, man.
Go for it.
EA keep putting in that pressure. We love it. What up? Dexter checking in. Good to see you. Who needs more days? Oh, he's talking about in Florida, in Tallahassee, you might need more days off. I don't know. I know I need more days off.
You just coming off vacation.
I'm already need a break. ain't been in class, but 8 days. I'm 9 days. I need a break already. Can't wait for King Day on Monday. I need a break already. All right. Let me see. More people. Oh, here we go. Melissa Wilson checking in. Checking in. Good to see you. Let me see. Who else am I missing? Oh, Gail checking in.
What's up, Gail?
From snowy Cleveland. Yeah, you know it's snowy up there. Good to see you. Irvin Donaldson checking in. Good to see you, Irvin.
What's up, Irv?
Thank you for checking in. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you all for checking in. Again, if you want to make a donation to the show, cup of coffee, whatever, slice of pizza, you can do so right there using that QR code. Or you can donate in the super chat. All right, Rick. Good to see you, Rick. Thank you for checking in. All right. Well, let's get into it. Okay. Man, it was a beautiful weekend for basketball. Look, don't let anybody tell you that FAMU and that we ain't got that we might be turning the corner and turn into a basketball school, Kelvin. I'm just saying we might turn into a basketball school. As not only, it started on Thursday when the Lady Rattlers took on Grambling State. And let me first off say, hopefully you guys caught our show with Liv last Wednesday.
Right.
I thought Liv she gave us a great preview. As you watched that game and following up on Liv's commentary, what kind of thoughts did you have as you watch this ball game, Kay?
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was I think this team may be taking on the personality of their coach. They're gritty and they're tough. They're resilient. And I like the fight in them. They have a formula of success. If you watched our show last week, we kind of mentioned we may have the best point guard as well as the best big in the SWAC. And they didn't do anything to make those predictions look bad with these two games. We have to take volume shots because we don't shoot in terms of 3-point or from the field. We don't shoot a high percentage. So we need the volumes, and we get rebounds, and we get those gritted kind of dirty baskets, and fouls. And then we shoot well from the free throw line. At least we did these two games. We shot 80% plus from the free throw line. And that what really made the difference. As well as we didn't have that 8-point quarter. We did have, 11, but we had all double-digit quarters. We didn't have that just horrible quarter that we tend to have in some games. And again, down the stretch, it was a little bit shaky at times, but we had another part outside of our point guard. We had different people stepping up in terms of the scoring.
And Ina Subaretz is one of those people that you're talking about. I think she got a clip that's going to pop in here in a minute. But Ina Subaretz, who we didn't see play, Kelvin, she didn't play any when we went to Bethune game.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. And the rotation was a little bit short. And I thought, honestly, Coach Pressure, how she, after both games, how she broke down where our team was and what was happening, I thought she was 100% spot on. Something that I probably should have gave a little more understanding to is this is a new team. And so they still, They had a tough non-conference, but they were still learning each other. And I really think that first win was the difference, which is why I like an easier schedule, an easy game to start off, because confidence matters. Once this team won, it seemed like it kind of brought everybody more bought in, and the effort was overall better. And then my point guard, man, she's a difference maker, man. She's tough as nails, man, and she's just gonna be trouble for the swag. So I gotta see, we'll see how they look on the road, and can they continue. The window, the window is still small in terms of the arrows. We don't have a lot of opportunity where we're gonna be able to. We probably won't pull away from teams. We're gonna play a lot of close games. The SWAC has a lot of parity in it, so it's gonna be paramount that we continue to do the things that we do. Volume shots, great defense. We lay our head on our defense. That's men and women, and then make our free throws. And we're gonna have opportunity to win every game we play, probably.
Yeah, look at that free throw percentage though. In a 4-point ball game, to shoot 86% at the free throw line. I mean, look, the turnovers are going to be with the turnover. Remember, we used to fuss about the turnovers. I mean, obviously, we all want the turnovers to be less. They are what they are. But I think when you can shoot 86% at the free throw line and you're still holding your opponent, I mean, those percentages by Grambling are just flat out horrible. Right. I mean, ours are no better. Let's not sugarcoat it.
But that's how we play.
But thank you.
That's how we win. We win what some people will call ugly. Like when you win, and I don't care about ugly, pretty. Win is a win.
Hey, that's what my man Albert Chester said. He said, "Ain't nobody care about ugly, pretty. A win's a win. A win's a win." Yeah. So I mean, you look at those numbers, and then of course, finally after getting a win under our belt, then on Saturday we take on the preseason favorite. And Liv talked about it. I mean, I don't think, look, if you would have gone in with the line, there's no line on this women's game, but I'm sure there was a line somewhere, and it probably said Southern was probably a 10-point favorite, my guess. And for us to play the way, again, look at the free throw percentage.
Exactly.
Double them up in the percentage, 82% to 47. I mean, that's miserable. And I'll tell you, Purifoy's 21 was just beautiful. But Kelvin, there was a stretch in this contest late in the game.
With those threes?
No. I'm just talking our ability. I mean, Southern went 7 minutes, Kelvin.
Without scoring.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was that. Really, there was a stretch where I counted 4 minutes, but I didn't know it started. I mean, because we were down by about, let me go look. We were down
4, 5, somewhere around there.
4 or 5 points going into the end of the third quarter, right? Yeah. And Southern just went cold. I mean, our defense was great, but Southern really, they didn't even get, it wasn't like Southern got a lot of shots either.
Right, correct.
We limited Southern to minimal shot attempts. And they only, going 7 minutes cold is amazing. And then, as mentioned, Purifoy, let me find her stat line in that game was absolutely insane. I think it was her best performance of the season, probably.
And they were trying to be physical with her, and they put longer defenders on her, and they just could not stay in front of her. And when she drove, she made the adjustment. 1 or 2 times she went in all the way to the basket and got a shot block. Then what she started doing was pulling up, and once she got past the primary defender, pull up before she get all the way into the block and stop doing those floaters, man. I mean, it was beautiful basketball. It really was.
Hey, she had 21 points on 6 of 11 shooting from the field. She was 8 of 8 at the free throw line, had 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Now, if you want to nitpick on anything about her game, she had 10 turnovers. I mean, that's an ugly double-double. That's the kind of double-double you don't want to have.
I attribute that to the 36 minutes or 38 minutes. She played a lot of minutes.
39 minutes. Kelvin, they only play 40 in a game.
Right.
She played 39 of the 40.
Yeah.
Little Mama was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, look, she was the impact player of the week in the SWAC. And as Coach Gordon been telling us, Little Mama is what makes this thing happen. And I gotta say, Little Mama, we respect your game tremendously. Not like we didn't believe, but boy, 39 minutes out of 40? Woo! Tanaja Purifoy.
And just fearless, man. She take it to the hole with authority.
Yeah, man.
Just a dog. Just a dog.
Yeah, definitely indeed. And I mean, again, our rotation is what it is. You know, McCarthy scored 10 in 36 minutes with 7 rebounds.
Camille Jackson is a nice piece. Yeah.
Oh man, Camille is nice. 35 minutes played, 8 points, 4 assists.
Big.
Breasia Robinson, 28 minutes, 8 points. I mean, and then M1, Maya Giles Jones, 6 rebounds, 4 points, played 29 minutes. I mean, we only went so far off the bench. I mean, only really went to Brooklyn Swan and Ina Subaretz. But right now, these ladies are playing. They're playing really well together, which, and that's the one thing I thought when Liv was talking about this matchup. I think we all felt that if our size worked for us, we could make it. Hey, Kelvin, this was a Southern team. Remember, we should have beat this team last year.
Correct.
We had the epic collapse last year. We won't even talk about last year. But for this team to do what they did, I mean, look at this, man. And so now, that's a Swan right there. That was a game winner. 2-1 in conference play. Probably should be 3-0.
And let me just add with that Southern game, it was chippy, man. When we go to Baton Rouge, we're gonna have to look out, man, because those ladies that now our girls, they did what they did. They ain't back down not one iota.
3 Southern players had technical fouls.
In
the
chippy
contest. Breasia Robinson only had 1, but that's lack of composure.
Yeah, it was very chippy, and even after the game, right, handshake line, they was trying to get started and had to be separated. So hopefully,
all kinds of homecomings this weekend. That emotion thing.
That's right.
What they say, when you go back to a place, you better keep your emotions in check, because if you let your emotions get away from you,
the Lancer was the Lancer was their leading scorer. She didn't get involved with a lot of that stuff, but she didn't play a lot down the stretch. I found that surprising, since she only played so well.
Minutes. She only played 12 minutes in the game. 10 points. But remember, Southern's a very balanced team, but she did get 10 points in 12 minutes. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
I'm saying she was hot. I don't know why they didn't go to with her more in the fourth quarter, but
yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll see more of that team, but I think it was a great point to say. You got to look, if you take care of your home wins, I mean, you got a chance of finishing 500 or better. And so good for us for taking care. Somebody looked this up. When is the last time FAMU's women opened the season 2-1 in conference play? I felt like there was a lot of, we'll talk about the men's game a little later in the show, but I know a lot of talk was about the men starting their season 2-1. But somebody go look and see, when's the last time the women opened the conference season 2-1? I feel like that hasn't happened in a long time.
And the truth is, they should be 3-0.
That part right there. Yes, indeed. Well, again, congratulations, Coach Gordon. Congratulations to the Rattlers, the ladies, the young ladies, as Coach Gordon likes to call them. The sisterhood was tight this weekend, and a special shout out to Tanaja Purifoy. Little Mama was the SWAC Impact Player of the Week, and the Rattlers are going to be traveling to Mississippi Valley State. That's who we play tomorrow. Right. That should be a good game, because Valley's women, they've already pulled one upset off this season. They're playing some good ball, so we got to go on the road and perform well. So again, that's on tomorrow, SWAC TV, hopefully, and we'll give you more updates a little bit later in the show. But coming up after this break, we're going to talk to Marvin Green Jr., the major gift officer for the FAMU Foundation in support of FAMU Athletics and the Marching 100. See, I told you I'd get the title right, Marvin. I told you I'd get the title right by the time you came in the green room. So we look forward to talking about Marvin, the Restore the Strike campaign. We're going to talk a lot about that coming up here. So let's be ready to get all in for Quinn, and let's find out how this thing all came together. So we're going to looking forward to talking to Marvin right after these messages. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube, Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2026? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 30th to February 1st, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, it's a pleasure to have on the major gift officer for FAMU Athletics and the Marching 100 via the FAMU Foundation, none other than good friend of the show, Marvin Green. How you doing, sir? Good evening.
I'm doing great. You guys hear me fine?
Yes, here you good.
Yeah, we got you. So what's new, Brother Green? What's new these days? What's cooking in the world of big time fundraising?
Man, you know, it never stops at FAMU. It never stops in the world of college athletics. And so here we are, a new year. We are off to a great start. We have us a new coach. There's new energy, and that's all good, right? We brought home one of our own, brother Quinn Fordham Gray Sr., to lead the Rattler football team. And we are super excited, man, super excited. And so we want to make sure that we give him the foundation he needs to be able to put the program out there that all Rattlers are expecting to have out there. And that's going to start with us, right? It's going to start with people getting behind him, supporting him the way that they should support him, really the way we should be supporting anyway, regardless, right?
Right.
No matter who's in that particular seat. But I'll tell you right now, we're going to have to put up or shut up, because right now we have no more excuses. It's time to get it done. We know that we have a championship, a caliber, atmosphere, pedigree, so to speak, and we need to do our part to make sure it stays there. So ready to rock and roll.
Well said. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So first of all, part of our contribution, other than I'm actually going to contribute to this cause, is we want to make sure that we bring awareness to this. And so every show we have this month up until the deadline, we're going to have someone talking about it. We had Rick last week. We got you this week. We'll have Vaughn to close it out, and we're going to have Mr. Ansley with the boosters next week. Okay. But so kind of talk about how it all came together and how's it going, where we are right now.
Yep. Well, that's great. Well, really, it's exciting, right? One of the things that, like I said today, I was at the 220 Club meeting, and of course, you're trying to figure out a way. What can we do different? You know, it's hard to raise money, really, in HBCU, the culture in general, right? Everybody, if the team is doing well, people want to contribute. If the team is not doing well, like, well, I'm gonna wait until I get my guy in, or whatever the case may be, before I contribute. And so, as we were getting the news as far as what might be happening in December, we had a coaching change. Of course, our old coach left, and now we got someone on the horizon. It's going to be a long search. How many candidates are going to be in the mix or whatever? And finally, the rumor hit. And of course, one thing about FAMU, certain rumors, they gain traction pretty fast. And once the word came out that Quinn Gray was in the mix, one of the top candidates, I got on the phone with him. I said, Quinn, if it's you, we're going to make some special things happen. And so Quinn told me kind of what his philosophy was. He started talking about All In, and what All In stands for is something he used at his former stop at Albany State. I said, okay, I got you. And he said he wanted the season mantra to be Restore the Strike. So he said All In, Restore the Strike from the beginning. I said, okay, let's take it and run with it. At that point, it was about, okay, Marvin, how do you get out here and get Rattler Nation galvanized behind this thing? And that's when I started saying, okay, well, one of the things we have to do is make sure that our support organizations for athletics, the Rattler Boosters, the Rattler F Club, the 220 Club, Rattler in Arms, right, the NAA as well. How do you get these people on board from day one so that we got one message? One of the things that happens is that when you got somebody that comes back, whenever you get somebody new, everybody want to start talking to that person. This is what we do. This is how we do it. But the bad part about Quinn coming back is somebody that everybody's familiar with. So now everybody's going to be tugging at him too. And I said, we got to have one band, one sound. And I want to give credit where credit is due. Rick Kinsey said, Marvin, jump on it fast. He said, go ahead and take the lead. Go ahead and get us together ASAP. And so on December 21st, and I'm just telling you that date because it's important, 4 days before Christmas, I said, okay, let's go ahead and get on the call. And so we put a call together that night of those organizations. There were some other people who've given. And basically, you know, we laid out the plan, kind of gave the marching order. This is what we're going to do. We're going to raise this much. We're going to do it in phases. That's why this says phase one. Like I said today, $250K is just the first phase. But we got to create a sense of urgency. So January 31st, we want to reach that goal, because if you say a number, you just leave it out there, then nobody has a sense of urgency. And so 250K became the goal. January 31st became the date, but we still got to wait for Quinn to become official. So that was December 23rd. So now we 2 days before Christmas making this announcement. People are all over the country with their family, friends, and relatives, having a good time, eating the food, doing the things they're doing. And we about to start asking you for some money for the football program. And really, that's what it was, man. We just started talking about All In. We started putting the emails out, putting the blast out. But I want to commend those people that came together. Ansley, Zachary Ansley from the Boosters, Rick Kinsey from Rattler in Arms, Curtis Taylor and his crew, Vaughn Wilson was with 220 Club at the time, and of course still is. And then, of course, our National Alumni President, Artisha Polk, she was on the call as well. I wanted her to be familiar, not that it necessarily has to be the champion behind it, but like I told her, you always have to be in the know. You can't just come up, you can't just be the savior and be the person that is giving a message after something happens. So I wanted her to be in the know. And so those were, like I said, some of the core people on that call. We had a few others, and then we just went with it. And the thing about it is that these are people who they put up a shut up. All of those names are on the list you see, came out the gate with a contribution. And so we want to let people know this is not one of them $25 campaigns. I'm just being honest with you. We want to start hopefully at $250 and above. That's our target. We know there's an audience that might have to do something else, but we have to talk to where we want people's behavior to be, and that is $250, $500, $1,000. And then, of course, my job is to have conversations and go get $10,000 people commitments, 15,000, 20 and above. And we have several of those that came along as well. So I can talk more about that, but I probably need to shut up and let y'all ask a question or two.
No, go ahead and give those folks some flowers, man. They investing.
Yep. So one of the groups that came together right away, of course, Rick is gonna be Rick. So I want to always start with Rick. But Rick came out the gate because, of course, Rick, he got a crew. He gonna try to prove his point, right? So Rick came out doing his thing. His folks came through. He started making some phone calls. Of course, Zachary, brother Ansley from the Boosters, he was getting acclimated, right? Curtis Taylor, he had his people coming together. Vaughn, of course, today the 220 Club literally gave this campaign a check for $10,000. And the first thing Dr. Jackson said, she said, you know what, Marvin, this is just the first. We got more coming. So 220 Club is over 5 figures right now. Rattler F Club is over 5 figures right now. Rattler in Arms is over 5 figures right now. Then on this particular call, we had an organization. I got to give them credit, even though I'm an Omega. But I got to give them credit. The Alpha Z, man, the Cap came through big time. They came out the gate with a $25,000 gift. One of the key points of contact is actually a new member of our foundation board, Nelson Grillo. So he was the point person, of course, with the blessing of Ken Neighbors, the chair of the foundation board, who's also a part of this group. And they were committed from day one. So I appreciate Chair Neighbors because he's always supportive of what I've been doing in this role and just how we need to support athletics in this way. And so he came through. Then yesterday I make a phone call. 2 days ago, I think I make a phone call because, I'm like, well, we had some money and some promises that have been made in the past. Called Dr. Beard, Timothy Beard, our former interim president. Talked to Dr. Beard, tell him about the campaign. Bam, no problem. Let's make it happen, Marvin. So $33,000 came from Dr. Beard. Dr. Beard, Timothy Beard, a $33,000 contribution went to the Restore the Strike campaign. Coach Gray went on. He's given $1,500. These are things that are big when you got the coach that's in the mix saying how he's committed to the program. But here's the other thing, because I almost forgot, I'm glad I didn't. I said, you got to get the right coaches behind this, right? Because Rattlers work in eras, right? A few calls. So one of the couple first calls I made, I called Rudy Hubbard. I told Rudy Hubbard, hey, Rudy, I said, Coach, what you all did back in the day is big. There's an era of people that follow you. I need you to do a video for me. I had to teach him how to do a FaceTime video so he could submit it to me. We put the music on it. Vaughn did his magic. Bam, that happened. Then I called Billy Joe, same thing, Coach Joe. So I got 78, 77, 78, 79. Then I said, let me call some of these late 90s guys, right? Billy Joe, they going to listen to you. So I called Billy Joe. Billy Joe did a video for me. Marvin, I got you. Quinn's my guy, blah, blah, blah. And he contributed. Billy Joe did over $500 as well. And I don't mean the number. I'm just telling you, they did do a little bit. They did, did the video and they sent it in. So now we got coaches, because I wanted people to understand this is a championship culture, a championship culture we're building. I see the question right here. Dr. Robinson did donate over $1,000. So yes, for those who are asking, I want to be clear about that. Like I said, I wasn't naming everybody, but Dr. Robinson did contribute to the cause. But my point is that now we got coaches from different eras who championship coaches from different eras. So that's setting the tone for what we expect from Quinn, right? So Quinn already knows, he knows the atmosphere, right? But, you know, now you got Rudy Hubbard supporting. You got Rudy Hubbard, Billy Joe. I got a video we still haven't dropped yet from Greg Coleman. Greg Coleman, our former National Black College, a Hall of Famer, played for the Minnesota Vikings. I got a video from Greg almost the first day. Matter of fact, I would probably say he was one of the first videos I got that came out. I haven't even dropped it yet, so I need to drop that sometime this week. But the campaign, for those who
pace yourself, got to pace yourself, right? Got to pace yourself.
Trying to get to 250. We're not trying to. We're getting to 250.
We're getting it. There you go.
And right now we're at $138,000. You'll see on the board 128, but the 220 Club's gift hasn't actually been uploaded tonight. So we're at 138. I got another organization. I won't say their name right now, but they're gonna compete with the Kappas pretty strong. You know.
I wonder who that is.
Hey, you know, they're gonna come through in a couple of days, and then, like I said, but we still got work to do. 250 is really the starting point. When you're trying to build a championship program, a championship culture, you got to set the tone early. And I said this in the 220 Club today, and again, I don't want to give this school the credit, but I gotta say it. There was a school up north in a big conference, one of the biggest conferences. They lost their coach the same time we did. They filled the road same time we did. The very next day when they brought that coach on, they had a campaign that people could get into in various ways. But theirs was $50 a month, $100 a month, $250 a month. They want to get it and keep getting it. So my point is, for those of us who are always gonna call Quinn on the carpet, oh, why you throw to this guy in the fourth quarter? Why did you do this? Or, you know, why did you play this defensive play in that quarter? All the things we're gonna give Quinn, Coach Gray, hell for as the season progresses. Like I said today, championship programs got to have championship supporters. And so my job, like I said, is to get this thing off the ground, get it running. And in the middle of this, we got a new AD that started. So John Davis, he's been great. We've had several conversations. There's different things that he's trying to put in place. So we've talked several times, had several meetings. He's on board. He actually made a donation, not to this particular cause. He wants to go to Rattler Athletic Fund, but I'm just saying he started out with a commitment of $10,000. He made a leadership gift pledge at his press conference. So I just want to say everybody is getting all in behind FAMU Athletics. And right now we know football is what everybody wants to talk about, but I can't stop. And y'all already started, so I won't go there too long. But I traveled this summer with Coach Ward and Coach Gordon. We were in the car a whole lot of miles this summer. I'm telling you right now, I'm excited for what they are doing. And the profile of our program is going up. You know, it really is. And I'm saying I felt a certain kind of way the other night on the inside, because I know that guy thought he was going to come back to Tallahassee. Give us something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's we love that our Greek letter organizations are getting involved. We got a couple that are having founders days this week. We hope that the ladies don't forget to jump in and be all in. You know who you are, but we know y'all are very strong. We're very supportive, so I know they're gonna make their way in. Let's see who can beat Alpha Z. We'll throw the challenge out. Mr. Campbell and Ken's Rick, they've already said we're looking on classes. Marvin, you guys, that was that freshman class of 88.
88, that's right.
We know you guys are like the gold jacket standard bearers. You guys poke your chest out and peacock, but y'all can do that because you have stepped up to the plate. So we're looking for other freshman classes to step up. And we love seeing all the classes that are a part of homecoming, but this is a great campaign to to reach out and let's make this a class competition.
Right.
You know, so whether it be my class, the freshman class of 92, Kelvin, what was your freshman class?
Actually, it's 88, but I came in the spring.
Yeah, he 88.
Okay. So see, there you go. You know, but I know the folks, I know the guys from 93. I know there's a lot of guys from 90. I know some 91. So I'm calling them all out. You know, let's all make it a campaign. You know, even if it's within your 5-year time frame or 4 years. You know, some of us were on the yard a little longer than 4. But anyway, I ain't saying who. Some people were. But anyway, you know, the one thing I want to ask you, Marvin, which as I was going back listening to A.D. Davis's introductory press conference, he talked about the goal of reaching this large number of alumni, you know, and so I don't know if this is I maybe transitioning here, but he brought up a very interesting plan proposal of saying that, you know, with the 75, I think he said 75,000 alums that we have out there, and being able to get folks to contribute, which I think wasn't too bad. He said minimally 100 a year, which really is, I think that's very realistic, you know, and I'm not in Kelvin's tax bracket. So, I mean, for someone even like me as a poor teacher, you know, I think I can contribute 100 a year. But what's your thoughts? And when you said you had conversation with him, that's what brought this up in my mind about how to merge these ideas, because again, and I want you to talk about what it felt like to be in that room, given all the different parts and different things that we do at FAMU and have had, but to see everybody come together. It almost felt like that we are the world moment, you know, and that's what it sounds like. You know, as I heard Kinsey talk about it last week, and I feel like somebody needs to make a soundtrack. But I mean, just talk about it if you would, please.
Well, first of all, I think A.D. Davis is right. We have to get more of our alums engaged, right? But we have to be realistic what that looks like. Now, the first thing is, I think $100 a year is a little too small, right? Because that sounds a lot. I'm not that good at math, but if you divide that up over a year, it sounds like a campaign we had about 10 years ago called 10 for 10, right? So I'm just saying, it sounds like 10 for 10. And it was very successful. But one of the things we have to understand is that there's something called the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the people is going to do 80% of the work. So the only thing I'm saying is, when you're talking about getting that reach out there, I like to go by a philosophy, and I hope to be able to create a campaign, something around like the power of 300. And it's not that we aren't looking for 300 people. I'm talking about things like in the Bible, there was Gideon's army, right? He had 300. You talk about the Spartans, right? The Spartans had 300. So my point is, you got to go hard in the paint with people who can go hard in the paint, because they set the tone for everybody else. So you don't necessarily want to rely on a lot of people doing a little bit. You got to have different pockets and buckets, so to speak. I think we should probably move towards, and we've had some discussions even after that meeting, where we're probably talking more like, for a participation piece, $100 a month category versus the $100 a year. So there'll be people that can fall in that category, but we need some $100 a month. And I have to give him credit, because he says it a lot. And, you know, sometimes when some people talk, if they say it over and over again, you hear it or you might not hear it. Tommy Mitchell talks about a lot about how what's taken out of his check every 2 weeks. We got to get a lot of people who get to the point where you're not thinking about it and get to that point, because that's your base. When people are talking about NIL, you're talking about rev share, you're talking about supporting athletic programs, those are things that just can't come in waves. It has to be there on a consistent basis.
Right.
You know, Quinn is going out, Coach Ward is going out. Those three sports, Coach Gordon is going out. Those three sports, when they're sitting in living rooms now, they're not just talking about FAMU anymore. They're not just talking about how beautiful the campus is and what we do on Set Friday. At the end of that entire conversation, you can say everything perfect. The kid wants to know, well, this other school offered me this. What are you offering me, right? So that's the dynamic. That's the dynamics that's changing. But to your point, I think our organizations, I will say this, is that we have to let people do what they do and be successful how they've been successful. Our Rattler Boosters have carried the torch a long time. Rattler F Club, Rattler 220 Club. Rattler in Arms, they're fairly new, but they've been around doing their thing.
Right.
They're doing their thing. But we still got a group of Rattlers that's about 55 to 35 years old that's in none of these organizations.
Mm-hmm.
None of them.
Yeah.
And they going to Dubai for spring break. They traveling all over the world. They're going to Ghana for they going a little bit everywhere. How do
I've seen their Facebook posts?
And that's the people that we have to start reaching. But guess what? People are particular about their disposable income. So we have to raise our value, right? We have to show why you need to give to FAMU, why to do it now, and that type of deal. So I think we're going to come together. A.D. Davis, our vice president of our foundation, who's permanent now, Dr. Brandy Tatum Frederick, and myself and a few others. We're going to put this thing together so that we got that consistent messaging. But no, I definitely think A.D. Davis is right. We definitely got to try to reach the masses. So I don't take anything away from that part of the message. But I think we got to get to a point where we can't let people just, you know how when a bucket go down the aisle in church, there's some people that just drop a little dollar in, and there's some people who know what it is to tithe. And I'm not here to make a tithing conversation. I'm just saying there's some people based on what they give, that's what keeps the lights on at the church. For real, for real. But if you're just ready for the people that give you the buckets, and to me, we got to get to the point where we got more people tithing in that kind of tithing mindset as far as how they're supporting our athletic programs across the board.
Well
Good
said.
analogy.
Well said.
Yeah.
Good analogy. Kelvin, you got any final comments or questions or thoughts there from Marvin?
No, man. I appreciate the transparency. I appreciate the vision and the articulation of that vision as it's being developed. And man, I just ask that you continue to keep asking. Number one, I appreciate the emails that I get and the blast, the social media presence.
Yes, sir.
You're checking all the boxes, man. Just keep that up, man. And anytime you want to get your communication message out there and talk to the folks directly, we're here. And as you're going through putting this thing together, man, input that if people want to give input or reach out to you, make sure you let them know how to do that.
Yes, sir. I got my email. I think it's in our private chat. It's maybe might not be in the comments, but if we can take that information and put it into the comments, I don't mind. My emails, people have ideas, but like I said, these ideas have to make sense, you all, and granted, we can't, move from one thing to another, but we have to collectively get on the same page. And that was the beauty of what happened, like you said, in that behind the scenes meeting on December 21st. To be able to get those organizations in the room, say, Marvin, we're all in. And literally, we said it almost before we knew that was going to be Quinn's thing. We're all in no matter what. We got Quinn coming home. We got to make a statement early, and we got to come out the gate, right? And so this is going to be big, like I said, and it's just a part of what we do. We got 14 sports, right? And we got our cheerleaders we got to still look out for as well. So 14 sports, we got our cheerleaders. We got the athletic department we have to take care of. We got this new wave of NIL, rev share we got to deal with. What does that look like? But we got to do our part. We got to spread the word. So when you get this message tonight, if you got this on YouTube, share it with 10 friends. Somebody come to homecoming, but they never see this type of stuff, or they don't do this. Give a person a chance to clip a part of this thing tonight and send that to them. I don't know if that's what y'all do, O&G, but I would say clip a part of this thing and let's put that part of the conversation out as well. So thank y'all so much for the platform, man. You guys doing amazing things. You guys keep our name, the FAMU brand, in the minds of people, man. And we're going special places because guess what? We all in with Quinn. Restore the strike. Restore the strike. Let's go, Rattlers. Championship programs need championship supporters.
Well said, Marvin. Well said. Bam, mic drop. Hey, Marvin, P.S., because we heard you drop a little breaking news on the 220 Club about the 50th year of the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that. I just want to get an early notification into you that we, the O&G StrikeZone, want to somehow be a part of being there when that thing happens, whether a pre-game show, post-show, red carpet. Just remember us when the planning starts.
Say less.
I will be there. I'll find a way. Kelvin's there. We'll be there. We want to be a part of it.
Yes, sir. 50 years is going to be big. 50 years is going to be big. And since you talked about the Hall of Famers, I just got to send a shout out to the families of Terry Buford and Curtis Miranda, 2 Rattler legends that we lost this week, FAMU Sports Hall of Famers. Them gentlemen passed in the last 2 weeks. Terry's Buford's funeral, I think, is Saturday, I believe, in Fort Pierce. So just much love to those fallen Rattlers, and we got something special for you this year. 50 years of FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. It's going to be great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Again, thank you, Marvin. You guys saw the email address is there. In the chat is the way you could donate. You could scan the QR code. We are not shy about putting up a way for you to be a part of the All In Restore the Strike campaign. And let's keep that number, keep contributing. Let's keep getting new donors in, because there's a lot more available Rattlers out there than have donated already. So you know a friend, tell a friend. There you go.
Sure.
All right, Marvin. Appreciate you. Be well, brother.
Thank you, Marvin.
Marvin Green, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Restore the Strike All In campaign.
Love the coordination, man.
Man, I'm waiting on the 30 for 30. Who's gonna produce the 30? Vaughn, can I get Vaughn to produce the 30 for 30 on how who's doing the song? Let me call you know who I need. We need to call Stashay. We need to call Stashay. We need a song.
There you go.
We need a song on how we all came together, like a We Are the World kind of song, man, because 2026 is going to be a new year for the Rattler Nation, Rattler family, man, because just being able to come together and make all that happen is a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's get ready to take our break. Coming up, I think, hopefully, we will have our head ball coach. We'll see. I know he's a busy man. He might be on the line with recruits. He might be with his staff. So we certainly understand if he is delayed. But whenever he does check in with us, we will bring him right on to the show. So, but if not, after the break, we got basketball talk. We got track and field talk. We got plenty of stuff that we can talk about, folks. So hang tight with us, and we'll come back with more. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Bryan Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, soon to be joined by Marcus Green, I'm sure, right after these words.
This is Bryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Into these colleges, and we have to fund our kids in these colleges, and we have to make sure our kids have seats in these colleges.
And what about HBCUs? You mentioned
absolutely. You got to fund them all, and you've got to make sure they're properly funded. You know, the real reason why I went after Comcast and Charter, it didn't have anything to do with my cable networks. It didn't. What happened was a gentleman wanted to do the Black College Sports Network, in partnership with the HBCUs. And Comcast did not accept it. And that would have made a lot of money for these black colleges.
Absolutely.
And it would have educated the Black College Sports Network. This is what he wanted to do. That would have educated a lot of black kids. And when they didn't do that, that's when I came off the bench and said, okay, I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree. Okay. That was the real reason why I got into it, was when I saw what happened with the Black College Sports Network, which I don't own. I just knew.
Why didn't you buy it?
I just knew. I just knew that these black.
I like that talk.
All right. I knew that these black colleges were going to benefit, and these black kids were going to get the education that they deserved and not have to pay.
There's a shot. To right. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
Welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan and Kelvin here, soon to be joined by Marcus Green and hopefully Coach Quinn Fordham Gray Sr. I know Coach is probably doing anything from talking to recruits, recruiting, of course, the transfer portal. The transfer portal closes Sunday, so there's a lot of movement happening. So we know, hopefully, we don't hold it against Coach. Look, if Coach had to tell us, "Hey, I'll be on next week," it's all good. We understand. This is a busy 2 weeks, last week and this week, and it is what it is. So we know Coach will eventually find his way here to the O&G.
I'll just say he's responded, and he is wrapping up some.
It's
some
all
stuff,
good. It's all good.
So
it's all good.
I told him we'll just push it to next week.
Okay, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. It's all good. It's all good. I do want to, while we're talking about football, I got to give a little shout out to a pair of our NFL Rattlers who are made it into another week of the NFL playoffs. Xavier Smith with the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams kicked off Wild Card Weekend with a 34-31 victory on the road at Carolina. Just looking to see, now that his receiving core teammates are all healthy now, I'm not sure he didn't get any targets or receptions. But on the punt return, he only got one opportunity to return a punt. But Xavier is a part of that 53 playoff roster. So, some pretty good guys. Xavier's a good receiver in his own right. There's also some pretty doggone good guys in front of him right now. So it is what it is. But he does have a place on the special teams unit. And so he's a third-year wide receiver with the team, primarily as a returner. Sometimes working in there. Also with the New England Patriots, Terrell Jennings, beast mode, in his second season with the Patriots is a running back, and his Patriots on Sunday night defeated the LA Chargers 16-3. He too is playing behind a pair of pretty good running backs that the Patriots have on that roster. So he, unless he was in on special teams, I didn't see his name. I'm looking here in the box score. He didn't get any snaps this game, but you know how the playoffs can be. At any moment, your name could get called. So This week for those two guys, let me see. I just had it up. I don't know why I closed it as I was doing this. This week, I think the Rams travel to Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I got it coming up here in a second here. Both of them play on Sunday. So the Patriots host the Houston Texans, 3:00 Eastern. And then the Rams travel to Chicago, 6:30 on NBC Peacock. So you can see Jennings and the Patriots on ABC, ESPN, Sunday afternoon, 3:00. And you can see Xavier and his Rams teammates on NBC. So good luck to those two brothers as well. I saw, I don't know who it was, I saw a few people mention it in the chat as we were talking about the donations and wishing that our NFL guys would, let's not assume that those very, very young guys have that kind of, or have as much disposable income as you all think they do. Again, they've only been in the league for, let me see, Marquise is the oldest one. He's only been in the league, 4 years, maybe. Xavier 3, Isaiah and Jennings both about 2 or 3. So let's not assume that.
But they are. I'm sure they're all in, and
no doubt.
They're part of the rally, F Club, and
they will find their way.
Right,
they will find their way.
Correct. They'll make their contribution that they feel is within their scalability.
That part right there,
just like the rest of us.
Right, that part right there. Marquise is the only one who's kind of got that second contract, which is what most NFL guys who they get in, they're all fighting to get that second or even third contract, because that's where you really start to create that financial security that some of them are working so hard for. So just kind of be patient with them on that. What I love about the campaign, for those of you, if you kick that QR code there, that'll take you to the All In Restore to Strike. Or if you go through the chat and it's full transparency. Like, you can see the number of donors, right? And I mean, that's what's interesting. If you scan that, let me see. I'm gonna hold my phone up and scan it, because I was just looking at it earlier. If you scan the QR code, it takes you right there to the giving, the Restore the Strike campaign. It'll even tell you how much has been raised.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll tell you that there have been 294 individual donors. And I think that's what, we're only 3 weeks in to this campaign. And man, it would be a great thing to see by the end of the month. I would love to see 500 by the end of the month. I would love to see 500 donors, and I think, look, I know there may be some people who are probably apprehensive when they see 250 or 5, but even if that's not you, give what you can give.
Absolutely.
No one's going to turn away a $50 or $25. No one's turning that away. I mean, if you look at it and say, don't think and say, see, this is old Bryan. Old Bryan's talking right now. Back in the day, younger Bryan, when I was in my 30s, I would say, I'm gonna wait until my tax refund comes. Right? I'm gonna wait until February. The tax refund, and then what always happens when you get extra money, something comes up. So don't think like that. If you have the available 50, 100, 250, give now. Give when you can, while you can. Pray on it, and it'll always come back to you. That's how I like to always think about things. So, All right. Well, you want to talk back? Let's talk. You want to talk men's basketball?
Yeah.
Let's go to the men's basketball. So, the second half of the doubleheader on Saturday, taking on Southern University. And I don't know, where was Southern preseason ranked? Upper half?
They were second.
It's really second.
Yeah, okay. You remember they're the defending regular season champions.
Regular season, yes, they are. That's right. Yeah. The defending regular season champ. That's right. Alabama State won the actual tournament. Right. Yeah. So first home opener, and again, we saw a very close game in Daytona Beach, a game that was very winnable. But look, another thing that stands out for me, Kelvin, free throws. But look at our opponents. Now, this is a stat that I looked into going into the Grambling game, which we'll talk about shortly. The opponent's 3-point field goal percentage. Yeah. Woo!
And field goal percentage.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Southern has the conference leading scorer.
Oh, that's right. They do. That's right.
Yeah, and he struggled to get his 20. Most of his points came from the free throw line.
Yeah. So give us some of your takeaways and thoughts there as you watch that game.
Well, Coach talked about it. We lay our head on the defensive end first and foremost, and this particular game, Southern, it was a combination of our defense was strong, and they didn't really have an answer. The one thing that we have that they didn't have an answer for was down low, and Dahmer's they could do nothing with them when we got them down there. But also, what I would tell you, and this applies both to the men and the women's, in terms of how the MEAC refs, how they officiate big post players, you can tell that they're not used to having a league having post players that are capable, because they keep them in foul trouble, and it's really very questionable. And I'm being kind by saying questionable fouls on which limits their minutes on the floor. But they had no answer for Ndama. But Southern team is very deep. Grambling was built similar, but they did have a big that was a little more I know Liv had mentioned about Southern's big. They have a big. They have a 7-footer, but he's not like Ndama, right? He's not physical, and he wasn't much of a factor. They just didn't. Our defense was strong. They didn't shoot well, and we had what was it, 4 or 5 players in double figures for this game, and we have one of those teams. Offensively, we have a team where you don't know where our scoring is going to come from game to game. We have about 6 to 7 guys that can go for double digits in a game, and the way we run our offense is basically who has the open shot, right? We keep running ball and pass, right.
Yeah, welcome, Marcus Green. Good to see you, Marcus.
All right, good to be here.
Yeah, you came in just in time as we were talking about the FAMU Southern men's game. What were some of your impressions from Saturday's doubleheader sweep over Southern and in the men's game, obviously?
Well, from the men's game, I guess what's refreshing to me, I guess going back 2 years, and we didn't have much issue last year, but it seemed like we hit a plateau for scoring, and it's good to see that we can score the basketball, score some points, and play some tight defense. The combination, I know 2 years ago, with Coach McCullum, that was one of our challenges, was that scoring. We had the defense, but we didn't have the scoring.
Right.
And so it's good to see we're making progression on that, and just overall, a pretty balanced attack. So I was pleased with that. And with the ladies, I was pleased to show some grit. They showed, the grit came out, and you always wonder how emotional it's going to get when you have former players coming in, and also, Southern team that's like scrappy in every sport. I mean, it's probably not a sport where they aren't battling and fighting. So, it was good to see them get that win, especially when it started to get a little chippy.
The individual performances, you mentioned Kelvin. Michael Jacobs there for Southern is one of the top scorers in the conference. He did have a game high 20, but he was 5 of 18 from the field, 1 of 7 from the 3-point arc. So just talks about how strong we were, especially defending, as Southern they shot 23. So, I mean, we held them to 3 of 20.
And let me just add, it was no fluke, because when we played Grambling, Munoz was unplayable in the second half.
We're number one. We're number one in the
Coach
league.
had a picture.
Oh yeah, yeah. No. We're number one in the league in terms of in terms of defending the 3-point shot. We are number one in the conference, and that's why I was curious to see what would come out in that next game. Tyler Shirley led the Rattlers with 17 points on 5 of 10 shooting. He was 6 of 6 at the free throw line. Again, as a team, we were 17 of 20 at the free throw line. He also had 7 rebounds, 3 assists. In Dalma, as you just mentioned, 13 points and 6 rebounds in 26 minutes. Micah Octave, we'll talk about his performance in the next game as well. 12 points, 8 rebounds in the game against Southern in 33 minutes. A game high 33 minutes for the Rattlers. So that should tell you something about how valuable he is on the floor. Micah Octave. We'll be talking about more of him all season, I got a feeling. And then, of course, on Monday night, the Monday night showdown. Coach Pat comes back to Tallahassee, man. And I tell you, on the heels of getting it handed to him at Bethune, you knew he was going to be fit to be tied. And, sometimes your emotions can get the best of you, Kelvin, Marcus. And so you got to play this game with a little composure. I don't think Grambling had much composure in this game, maybe until the last 2 minutes of the ball game.
Well, we had the lead pretty much the entire game for the most part. We talked about how we don't know how scoring gonna go. You talked about how Shirley was the leading scorer that game. Well, PJ came in this game and he was hot, man. He was, and then of course, our point guard Sanders went for like 24, but PJ was the X factor. He just came out of nowhere. I think he went for 18, something like that. And he was, because I was talking about Ndama and how they officiate him. Pretty much what the SWAC refs do is when you drive to the basket, when other teams drive to the basket, all you gotta do is fall down, whether it's a foul or not. You're gonna get the call. You're gonna get the call. So PJ played a lot, man, and they had no answer for him. He was athletic. He was making shots from the outside as well as the inside, and he has that skill level, but his aggressiveness and his mindset is not always there. But he was really an X factor in that Grambling game. We kind of started fumbling the ball a little bit the last 3-4 minutes where we turned the ball over. And Grambling got close, but we were able to close it out. But again, I mentioned Munoz. What Munoz had 13 that game, 13 points, something like that. But look at his shooting percentage and his minutes, and he wasn't in foul trouble. It was just that he was frustrated by he is a true freshman, and he was frustrated by our defense, and he wasn't really seeing what we were doing to him in like say the second half. He didn't play a whole lot at all. I don't think he came in the fourth quarter. I don't think he came in till about 5 minutes left, somewhere around there.
Yeah, Munoz was held to Antonio Munoz was held to just 6 points in 22 minutes for Grambling. 2 of 4 shooting. Yeah. You
Now,
mentioned
Coffey,
that
Rod Coffey didn't play for him though. I don't know he was there, but
that was surprising. I thought,
Yeah.
and Coffey had played the last weekend. I mean, Coffey had actually played. I watched those two games, and he played real well last weekend. So I didn't look and see that Coffey play against Bethune or not. So I don't know. Jaquan Sanders, 24 points in 37 minutes. He was 4 of 11 from behind the arc. Micah Octave, 20 points. He was 5 of 10 from behind the arc. So, I mean, those two dudes alone were killing it. And then if you want the mid-range, like you talked about, Washington with 18 minutes off the bench, 18 points in 28 minutes off the bench. That was your big three. Tyler Shirley also added 14. You mentioned we didn't have Antonio Baker for this game, so I don't know. Did Baker play? He didn't. Did he play the Saturday game against Southern?
Yeah. He got in.
Yeah. Okay, so not quite sure what happened, but there were a few technicals in this game. Grambling picked up. Let me see, 1, 2, 3 different technicals. So again, much like the Southern game, a team was dealing with composure issues, for lack of another word. But and so final score, FAMU 91-84, a track meet in the second half. There was a total of 100 points scored in the second half alone, as we outscored Grambling 52-48. And you talked about the last 2 minutes where we had a 10-point lead, and it got down to as close as 3. And, you started to wonder, it's like, okay, did we get too comfortable too soon? The announcers on the broadcast, God bless them, they were popping, they had popped the champagne with about 2 minutes ago. I could have sworn, I was like, what's Melvin and them? Someone poured Melvin and them a drink already? There's no celebratory drinks just yet. Man, they were celebrating. And then all of a sudden you start to see the game come back. And I was like, whoa, what the heck is going on? So, I mean, good to see that we held on to get the win despite the 17 turnovers. Jesus, 17 turnovers. I know Coach Ward had a fit. He was happy to get the win. Let's just say in the post-game press conference. Shout out to everybody who had the post-game video. Vaughn, HBCU Game Day. I know Gerald did as well. Appreciate that. So good stuff. 2-1 are the Rattlers for the first time since the 2016-27 season. 2016-2017. First time in the SWAC we've started 2-1.
And both of them could very easily be 3-0.
Both of them could very well be 3-0.
Probably should be 3-0.
I love the fact that you said it. Yes, we very well could be, should be. Micah Octave was your SWAC Impact Player of the Week, former Alabama State transfer. I got a feeling folks in the SWAC if you weren't familiar with his game and you forgot that he was still around the SWAC, well, guess what? He's coming to a SWAC city near you. So get ready.
We will also be adding, he wasn't dressed out these 2 home games, but I checked to confirm, and Tucson.
Is it happening? Is it happening? There's going to be a Tucson sighting?
Tucson will be dressing out and playing. I don't know if he's on the road trip yet, but he is going to play. He's definitely going to play. Yeah.
Big Tucson is coming, boy. I tell you, I think that's going to be a game changer. So, wow. Congratulations to Coach Ward and the fellas, the coaching staff. Just FAMU basketball in general, man. It felt good to see. Regardless of wins, just felt good to see good basketball being played in the Lawson Center. Kelvin had coined the phrase "no L's in Lawson." Yeah. We're not gonna bring it back just yet, but boy, it's coming. We warming up the bus, the no L's in Lawson bus. We warming it up because I'm telling you, we love the way the Rattlers are playing at home. So
no loss in Lawson.
Loss in Lawson. There you go. So again, the Rattlers are traveling. Here's the schedule for you folks. Mississippi Valley State is who the Lady Rattlers play on Thursday. SWAC TV, be looking for it. The doubleheader is against UAPB on Saturday. That's going to be interesting because UAPB's men they are unbeaten 3-0 in conference play. So that's going to be a challenge, be a good game.
They're going to play a defensive-minded team, though.
Yes, we're going to have to be.
Yeah.
We're going to have to be. And then on Monday, the men they go to Valley on Monday night. So all games should be accessible and available on SWAC TV. Make sure you're following the SWAC. Go download SWAC TV, whatever it is, your Roku, your Apple, your Prime, your Fire Stick, Google Play, whatever it is. Make sure you get SWAC TV, and let's make sure we are watching and supporting our Rattler basketball team. Prayers out to all of those teams out on the road, and let's all be there to support them. Okay. All right, let's get ready to take our next break. It's coming up. We're going to get to the track. We're going to go indoors, some more indoor action, but this time it's the indoor track and field season, and we have a new guest coming on the show, Tony T.A. Austin, HBCU track and field, and you've probably seen the Twitter handle. You maybe read the website, and so we're going to get a chance to talk to Tony, and the Rattlers are already off to a hot start in the track and field season. So we look forward to talking with Tony here coming up after this break and get his overview of HBCU track, the SWAC, and of course, Coach Ellenwood's track program. So hang tight with us. You can donate to the All In Restore to Strike campaign by hitting that QR code in the top right corner of the screen. We need more donations. We're not quite at 300. We need to get the 300 by the end of our show. Let's keep pushing the number up over 3, and we're looking to 500 by the end of the month. That's the charge right here from the O&G StrikeZone. So we'll be back in just a moment after these words.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell them mama hungry.
It's the 37th Annual Zora Festival. It's in Edenville, Florida, Saturday, January 31st and February the 1st. On Saturday, the all-white party tribute to Frankie Beverly with bass guitarist Jubu. Sunset, and Taisha Williams. And on Sunday, the Lion Dance Party Live with Jeter Jones, Mike Clark Jr., and Boss Lady Coco. Tickets available at zorafestival.org.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, and it's a pleasure to have on the show for the first time, Tony T.A. Austin, representing HBCU Track and Field. Tony, welcome to the O&G. How you doing tonight?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm doing great. How about yourselves?
Doing
Hey,
well.
it's good to have you on. Good to have you on. All
Can
right,
you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
We
Most
got
certainly.
you. We got you. Okay, you're hearing us. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Tony, we have found your site and been following you via Twitter. And of course, for anybody who's not familiar, you should be following HBCU track_field on Twitter, covering all four of the major. All five. I got to put respect now on the HBCU AC. All five of the major HBCU athletic conferences when it comes to the track and field season. So, Tony, why don't you get us started and maybe give us a little background about you, your background. We see you got the PV shirt on there, so I got a feeling you got some PV ties to you. But just let us know kind of a little your background and how you got involved and started with covering HBCU track and field.
All right, sure. Well, yes, I am a proud Prairie View graduate. I just celebrated my 25th class reunion this past year in 2025, so class of PV2K as we call it. Very, very, very proud of that. I'm a social worker, so I got love for helping others, especially our people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always great. And I'm a former student athlete, so track and field was the vehicle to finance my college education. Okay, I was a jumper, so I don't know if you ever heard of a guy that played for the Green Bay Packers by the name of Donald Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, he and I used to go at it when we were in college. He was an outstanding jumper as well. He talked noise, tried to get in my head and all that good stuff, and we go back and forth. So I think I fell in love with HBCU track and field. Just the idea of it. My junior year of high school, Prairie View, actually, one of my close friends to this day was a freshman at Prairie View, and I was a junior in high school, and I went and I saw just the camaraderie, like the chants and all that all the schools had, and just, man, you just felt like you were just in, I should say, what's the name of that movie that Chadwick Boseman played in?
Wakanda or
Wakanda. Yes, you just felt like you was in Wakanda. Like, man, okay, I like all this soulfulness that's going on. So anyway, I did proceed to sign with Prairie View A&M. I was the number 2 triple jumper in the country coming out of my junior year, but my test scores weren't as high. But I got them at the end of, coming out of my senior year. But I got them at the end of my senior year. My test scores up. So a lot of the schools that kind of were ignoring me, tried to get back on the bandwagon. I was like, no, my coach from Prairie View, that's the one who's shown me love this whole time, and that's where I'm going to go. And long story short, won SWAC a few times in the triple jump, and I was part of 4 SWAC champion teams as well. And I was also a student at Prairie View when our football team broke the losing streak. So during that time, I got a chance to experience the late 90s, man. Hey, to me, that was like the opportune time to be attending HBCUs. But nonetheless, I got involved, of course, just following the sport in general. And once the streaming became more and more available, and I saw all the war of words that was taking place between JSU and FAMU in football, of course, and and all the other schools, I was like, man, track and field is really being ignored. I mean, it's not being covered like it should be. And so I did my research because I didn't want to play copycat. I wanted to be respectful of any brother or sister out there that was already, covering it. And I didn't see no one covering it. So I was like, hey, you know what? Just like Coach Eddie Robinson said, I am SWAC, but more importantly, I am HBCU. So hey, what better than to cover HBCU track and field? But one thing I will say that I love more than anything else related to HBCU track and field, and I'm still keeping on point. But my head coach, the late Hoover J. Wright, I used to be like a kindergarten student listening to his stories as far as when he started coaching Prairie View in the early 60s, because I've always been a fan of Black history per se. And of course I had to ask him about the great Bob Hayes. Coach Wright, did you see Bob Hayes run? And he was like, did I see him run? He said, of course I saw Bob Hayes run. He said, man, there was one track meet. I think the coach of FAMU back then was Coach Griffin, Coach Pete Griffin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Coach Pete Griffin. He said they needed to win the mile relay to win this particular big track meet. And back then, I mean, it's interesting. People talk about how big HBCU football was back in the 60s, but trust me, track and field was the sport because we the Olympics, coming out of HBCU. We had the gold medalists coming out of HBCU. So if we're producing the best in the world, then track and field had to be on both the men and women's side, had to be the best sport in HBCUs back in the 50s, 60s, early 70s. All right. So with that being said, Coach Wright was like, yeah, man, Coach Griffin had to beg Bob Hayes because he was like, no, coach, I did not run the quarter. And he was like, please, look, we just need you to run just this one time. And the way he talked about how Bob loafed the first 200 meters in 24 seconds and then sprinted the last 222 seconds to give them the lead on first leg. And he's like, lo and behold, they end up winning the meet. So man, I'm telling you, just hearing the stories about, him talking to Johnson C. Smith, Olympic gold medalist Vince Matthews, and how he tried to calm him down from protesting in 1972 because Coach Wright was the coach of the quarter milers at the 72 Olympics or whatever. So again, man, him seeing Wilma Rudolph and Wyoming Tyus and all them, that just kept me on a natural high to always be in love with HBCU track and field.
All right.
Man, it's fascinating. I love the fact that you were able to apply your field and love of not just the sport, but the history of your sport and educate us. I mean, because I'm not going to speak for my guys, but I know for me, my first recollection of anybody from the HBCU world in track and field was the Olympics and Edwin Moses, right?
There you go.
84 right Olympics, there. 84 yes. Olympics, right? And that was my dad sitting there telling me, okay, he went to an HBCU, Morehouse, right?
Correct.
And so, I mean, that was, but like you said, so much of today, the marketing of big time college athletics is geared towards other sports. We do forget about track and field. And so I love the fact that you cover it so passionately. And I know that I've even seen clips again, HBCU track _field on Twitter. You even post historical videos and stories, and you got set. So, I mean, you cover it all, the current as well as the historical. So I just wanted to, give you your props and say thank you, brother, for coming in to this space and providing the type of content that you do. Marcus, I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna throw it over to you, brother. Marcus.
Well, good evening, Mr. Austin. Glad you could jump in and join us, and thank you for accepting our invitation. I guess, and I don't want to get too far, man, because I know we talked about some things. As far as the operation for HBCU track and field, is this something that I know you mentioned that it was something that was born out of the competitive juices you saw online? Is this something that you're managing solo, or do you have a team of folks who are doing that? Because I also noticed that you promote. I've noticed a few athletes, and I don't know if you're based in Texas, but I believe I've forgotten the name of the school in Texas, but they have a Supreme Ladies team, and you've been retweeting some of their results as well.
Yes, I am based in Texas, and for the most part, I do run it solo, but I do depend on fellow HBCU alums and fellow HBCU grads and alums that have a natural high for providing me with good information as well. So again, hey, it's a HBCU, man, we're a community. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if we at each other's throats on Saturdays in the fall or on Saturdays in the spring, we still that one community. So I appreciate the people like the White Loves and the sister She Loves D. I know, like I said, y'all be beefing with Jackson State or whatever, but and then the FAMU community, man, y'all some of the biggest supporters. As far as HBCU track and field goes, y'all do the reposting and A&T does it as well. Howard does it. So hey, man, I love it because again, it ain't even about me. It ain't even about me getting the likes. It's about promoting HBCU track and field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, just to follow up, and I tend to focus on recruiting a lot for FAMU and tracking that. Have you seen, based on your efforts in running the site, have you seen more of the higher rated high school prospects tend to give more credence or give more attention to HBCUs, and how much has that played into your promotion of HBCU track and field?
Yeah, great question. And I will say this: before COVID, and then after the George Floyd situation, we were starting to see that swing. Okay, back when we were starting to see the bigger time athletes, and then especially when Coach Dwayne Ross got that job at North Carolina A&T. Okay, before he eventually left to go coach at the PWI, but he brought his son with him, of course, and then he was able to get some of the best talent in the country. And then that started spreading around. But of course, when NIL came into play, that kind of slowed things down. But I will say though, the beautiful thing with the transfer portal, and I'm not a transfer portal connoisseur per se, but I do appreciate it because it does help HBCU track and field. So you'll get some of those student athletes that may start off at the bigger schools, but they'll somehow make their way over to HBCU track and field, at least a handful of them. And you have people like Coach Ellen Wood there at FAMU that's doing a great job. He's an East Coast guy that knows how to get that East Coast talent as well. Coach David Oliver up at Howard, an Olympian, a former Olympian per se, one of the best hurdle coaches on the planet. All right, and he's able to attract star talent, especially in those hurdle races. So again, yes, you are seeing them with these various coaches that have reputations as either celebrities or former, great track athletes that are able to pull in some star talent, some nationally ranked talent coming out of high school, in addition to the transfer portal as well.
Okay, well, thank you.
Hey, real quick, Kelvin, before we go to you, Marcus, you were talking about that transfer portal. So the transfer portal is big in the track and field world too, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is. Like I said, it's no sport is unscathed from the transfer portal. Okay? No sport. Matter of fact, I actually went to the SWAC Outdoor Championship when it was actually hosted at Prairie View back in 2023. And the young lady from FAMU that I interviewed after she won the open quarter had just transferred from TCU. Okay. So again, that transfer portal, hey, it was paying off dividends for all the schools. Right?
It works. It works both ways. I mean, you get guys. It works both ways. I'll just stop there. It works both ways, right?
And another thing that I enjoy doing about running HBCU track and field is that when it comes time to the conference meets, whether indoor and outdoor, it just seems like a lot of cachet comes with when I always say he or she is the fastest man or fastest lady in the SWAC or the MEAC or the HBCU or the SIAC. And the athletes, they love it. You know what I'm saying when I say that.
Nice.
You got to be sheriff at time. I like throwing those cliches. As a matter of fact, speaking of HBCU track and field, Clyde Duncan Jr., Coach Clyde Duncan Jr. at Texas Southern, he runs Clap Clap Productions. That is the best PA announcer on the planet as it relates to track and field. And he's an HBCU grad, proud HBCU grad as well. Right. So if you ever get a chance to hear that brother speak when he's on that microphone, oh man, he's gonna be entertaining.
What are some of the events? Does he do? What are some of the conference? Does he work with any particular conference or any particular event? Where is he based out of?
He started out in the SWAC. Well, he's based out of H-Town. I think he works at Texas Southern. I think he's employed at Texas. He's no longer coaching, but he was a coach. He was an assistant coach for his father, Clyde Duncan Sr., during my college years. But people fly him all around to come and be the announcer for their track meets. I mean, everywhere. So he's a celebrity. Again, HBCU track and field is where he got to start at.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Being a Texas Southern grad, it is.
So you mentioned some of the elite coaches who are currently in the HBCU space, as well as was previously historically in the HBCU space. Looking at the indoor season this year, and the 2 or 3 meets that I've seen, it looked like some really impressive performances are coming from some of these student athletes. So tell me what sticks out to you, some of the the early times or jumps or events that you think are noteworthy.
Well, if you look at my blog page this week, now of course we know that your guy FAMU has the fastest time in the nation in the 60-meter hurdles, but my athlete of the week, Javon Riley, attends a D2 school. He has the fastest time in all of HBCU track and field and the second fastest time in all of collegiate track and field. And he's at a D2 school in the 400 meters. Okay. So that's what stands out, is that it don't even matter. In football, yeah, we may say the guys who attend the bigger schools, but in track and field, it ain't where you're from, it's how you come. So we have 2 gentlemen at Dillard, okay, that are sprinters that rank near the top of the HBCU track and field, standings as it relates to the 60 meters and 200 meters. And one of those gentlemen, Jamal Morris, who's at Dillard, man, I'm surprised he hadn't jumped in the portal. So kudos to him for staying at his school, all right, and continuing to be a marquee sprinter.
Do you see with the early start and early success of some of the HBCU programs, do you see some potential of some of these folks qualifying for NCAAs?
Oh, yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, the young lady, and now for those of you out there that's listening, I am not jocking FAMU. Okay, I'm all about HBCU track and field. Okay?
Oh, and tell the people the truth.
You're on our show. You can jock FAMU. It's all good.
Okay, but the young lady from FAMU, as a matter of fact, is a couple of them.
Yeah.
Let me fast forward. I'm gonna get back on track. Let me fast forward. But y'all gonna have one of the best 4x1s. If all these young ladies stay healthy, y'all gonna have one of the best 4x1s in the nation. Okay, plain and simple. HBCU track or whatever. They're gonna have one of the best 4x1s in the nation. But anyway, this young lady, DeAndre Gaines, oh man, she is phenomenal. One of the fastest times in the nation. She should be at that NCAA indoor meet, come March. All right. Have another young lady right behind her. I think it's pronounced Jenna Kitchen. All right. She also may possibly be able to book her ticket as well. All right. Now, on the roster, I haven't talked to Coach Ellenwood yet, but on the roster, the reigning fastest lady in the SWAC, Nia Blocker, she's still listed on the roster. So I haven't talked to Coach Ellenwood to see, if she's still there, if she's healthy or anything. But best believe, if
she's
she
a
gets
friend
back
of the
in
show.
The mix, man, it's gonna be scary.
She's a friend of the show. It's all
okay.
she there.
Okay.
She there.
So like I said, it's gonna be scary. All right, but at the same time, we have some good triple jumpers and some good milers as well.
Right.
But Norfolk State. Oh, I'm sorry. Howard University, of course, they always going to have some young ladies that are hurdlers that are most likely going to qualify. At least 1 or 2 that are going to qualify for the NCAAs. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, like I said, we just getting started with the indoor season. All right, and we're going to see that now on the men's side. Of course, the young man at FAMU, he's Leonard Mustari, the fastest in the nation right now. Don't be surprised if he wins the whole thing. Okay, at the NCAA meet. And then you have his teammate, okay, that's also, running well in the hurdles, Joseph DeRozier. Okay, he may possibly qualify as well. And then they have a good sprinter, Darian Lawrence. Okay, but we also have some good jumpers, all right, that are doing some good things. Seth Stockton at Alabama State. And also we have a few quarter milers as well. Norfolk State, again, is a sprinter-rich school as well that, is going to bring their share of sprinters and quarter milers that are going to possibly threaten to get one of those spots in the NCAA meet, an indoor meet. Okay. So again, I'm just happy because the conference meets. It's like these athletes, man, they're getting faster and faster each year, and they running times already that you would normally see when they're peaking at the conference meet. And that's still a month away. You know what I'm saying? More than a month away.
I want you to give a highlight and talk about the young man who I know he transferred from Alabama State now, but talk about their sprinter from last year and having someone who was basically on the international radar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that gentleman, of course, and first and foremost, Coach Richie Bean, kudos to that gentleman. Okay, he is winning championship after championship after championship after championship as it relates to the SWAC titles on both the men and women's side. Okay, but yes, Alabama State, and again, this where this NIL and stuff, I'm sure comes into play. But Alabama State last year had a gentleman who transferred, to Arkansas, but he made it all the way to the U.S., trials, all right? But was the first student athlete to run under 20 seconds in the 200 meters while still being a student at an HBCU, still having eligibility left.
Right.
Okay. That's Stubbs, right? Is that Stubbs who you're talking about?
Stubbs, correct. Jamarion Stubbs.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was, kind of working my way to it, but yes, sir. You paying attention too. Okay.
I got
yes, Mr. Stubbs, man, I got a chance to meet him a couple of years ago. Like I said, at that SWAC meet, and that's when Alabama State set the all-time 4x1 record that he was a part of. Okay, at the NCAA meet, the all-time HBCU track and field 4x1 record. Excuse me. And so Jamarion Stubbs, yes, he made it to the finals in both the 100 and the 200, and we wish him well, man. Hey, you came to the HBCU and you set records and things of that nature. So yes, I expect him to continue as long, of course, providing that he stays healthy. I expect him to do it. And I think last year he ran into a few health issues or whatever. But still, like I said, he has the fastest time ever in HBCU track and field in the 200 meters. Okay, and one of the fastest ever in the 100 meters.
Right.
Yeah, he's a bad man, boy. We watched.
Oh, and by the way, one of the fastest men in the world, that's also a gentleman from Africa. I think it's pronounced Samanu Abdul Rashid. He's running at South Florida, but he started out at Florida Memorial. Okay, now he's one of the fastest men in the world. I think he runs for Ghana. I want to say that's his home country, but he made it to the World Championships. But again, HBCU track and field was where he started. Okay. And made headlines while at Florida Memorial.
For those of you who are just maybe popping in, you're joining us. We're talking with Tony Austin here, the CEO, the curator, Mr. Everything for HBCU track _field on Twitter. What's the website again, Tony, that people can go if they also want to consume your content on the web as well?
Yes, hbcutrackandfield.com.
Okay. And are you on Instagram? Do you do anything on IG?
Not IG with HBCU track and field, just mainly just Twitter and of course my blog page.
Okay. And I only asked that because I came across there was another site that does stuff Instagram, and so I don't, that's why I didn't know whether you do Instagram as well, but I know.
And Facebook as well. HBCU Track and Field on Facebook. So
HBCU Track and Field on Facebook, HBCUtrackandfield.com is and then of course HBCU Track _field on Twitter. So make sure you consume Tony's content there. Fascinating. I love this conversation. Now
one thing I will say, Bryan, and Kelvin and Marcus, is that thank God for all these streaming services now, because it makes it hard in a great way. It makes it hard for me to go to these meets now because, man, I like giving that scoop before anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So if I got my screens and all that around me and I can watch meets simultaneously, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I do like giving that scoop first. Okay, so that's why I choose to not go to a lot of meets in person. Okay.
Oh, it's hard.
Because,
it's hard if you go. Yeah, because if you go to the meet, it's like you can't. You bound to miss something. Yeah. So I mean, it is hard.
So maybe one day, so maybe one day, maybe I get a team together that can go out and do all that. But me personally, hey, I'd rather just sit there and just watch them being streamed live, and making sure that I can make sure these young brothers and sisters that they're getting that love.
So let me ask this question. Let me jump in real quick since we're talking about meets. I know pin relays has always been traditionally a huge meet. But what are some of the more popular meets, whether it be indoor or outdoor, for that HBCUs participate in? What is the one or two meets that we need to see? We need to go.
Okay. Indoors, of course, you have the HBCU showcase that's going on in New York this weekend coming up. And as it relates to indoors, you have a meet that's in Florida that anytime the Gators are putting something on, those are usually going to be big indoor or outdoor meets. Okay. Texas A&M have good indoor meets as well that they in Arkansas, or anytime Arkansas is hosting something, a lot of times the HBCUs will follow. And then now UAB is building up a lot of steam indoors, okay, as far as their indoor facility in Birmingham, which is where the SWAC indoor meet is. And of course, in Virginia, anything that's held at Virginia Beach, which is where the MEAC, has their indoor meet. That's going to be. Now, outdoors, you have, of course, the Penn relays, you have the Drake relays, you have the Texas relays, you have the Florida relays, all right? And on the HBCU side, the biggest of them all is the TSU relays, Texas Southern, it is. Okay, that is as it relates to cachet and rah. Okay, all right. So a lot of times, you'll get those, and hopefully, we can get an HBCU outdoor meet, that everybody will come to one day.
Right.
Did you ever attend the FAMU relays when you were running for PV or jumping for PV?
No, unfortunately, we never came that way. You know what I'm saying? But we did meet FAMU one time at McNeese when I was in college, and also in Atlanta, one of those last chance meets when you're trying to qualify for nationals. Yeah, because back then FAMU had a good mile relay in the late 90s. I think they finished third at NCAA meet with Winford Pollard and all those guys.
Right.
So yes. So unfortunately, we didn't get a chance. It would have been great to experience that, but our Coach Wright, he kind of stayed in the SWAC for his meet, the Pelican relays, which is what Southern hosts. We go to Alcorn, and of course we have our own meet at Prairie View, Texas Southern, etc. Outside of like Texas relays and Drake relays.
Right.
So one of the things that I heard you mention and talk about, Tony, is, and I love this that you said that, and track would always seem like the kind of sport that, regardless of what school you go to, whether you go to D2, NAIA, Division I, fast is fast, right?
That's right.
I mean, fast is fast. So is there a meet already? And you just named some great meets, but is there a meet where you're going to see, has anybody come up with that you mentioned the New York event coming up this upcoming weekend, the indoor event. Is that the event where you can see, regardless of D2, NAIA, D1, where I'm going to see almost like a best of the best? Has anybody put together a best of the best track event where you can see, literally, like I said, best of the best are going to participate in?
Now, are you speaking of HBCU track and field in general?
Yeah, just among HBCU schools.
Yes. That's I give them kudos. I think Nike is the sponsor of the meet, so I give them kudos for that. And yes, that's the meet that start. Outdoor wise, like I said, we're still trying to get there, because once outdoor comes, everybody kind of scatters around. And if you may go to this HBCU meet or you may not, or whatever. But indoor wise, yes, the Armory in New York, that's the marquee meet for HBCU track and field right now, indoors. Okay. We gotta set some up outdoors. Maybe you guys can help me do something like that one day.
And of course, I know Marcus and Bryan remember we kind of gave that space. The FAMU relays used to be the first major outdoor relay of the outdoor season cycle. And when we stopped having it, Florida State, because nobody wanted to interfere with the Florida relays down in Gainesville. And then, you have the Bob Hayes relays, which are high school, which is high school and college, but in Jacksonville. So, but the FAMU relays used to be really huge, man, and draw. I remember watching Bo Jackson and Sammy Smith and Dion and all those guys. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to draw all the big schools because it was warm weather, and like I say, but they changed the schedule, the track schedule of when you could have the meet and where we used to have it, which was like the week going into spring break. I think it was strategic, but when they changed the calendar when you could have the meets, it kind of threw things off. Then of course, all those old coaches who had been propping up this meet and having all these coaches come to support it over the years, they start retiring and passing on. But the FAMU relays really used to be that meet, and it was bigger than HBCUs, and it was of course high school as well as college meet.
Wow.
And we had unattached professionals that ran in that meet also.
Okay. And let me just say this. All right. Speaking of FAMU relays, I'm gonna just say this unapologetically, and I'm gonna repeat the late great Dr. John Henry Clark on this. I only debate my equals. All others I teach. When I say this, is that Bob Hayes is the fastest human being God ever created. Okay. So again, I only debate my equals. All others I teach. All right. That's all I'm gonna say. He did all that on a hard dirt track. Okay. Yeah. All right. So again, I'm not going. We ain't arguing about that now. Okay.
That is an excellent point that I've never heard
that before.
I knew it, but it just hit me when you said it was a dirt track. You're right.
Hard dirt track. Yeah, did that. Especially that 4x1 is legendary. That 4x1 ankle leg, man. That right there, I think cemented that he's the fastest man ever. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine, he's on the Usain Bolt, and much respect to Usain Bolt, man. I enjoyed watching him, run as well. But there was a track meet where Usain Bolt got the baton behind the U.S. and he couldn't catch the guy. And I said, you know what? I said, Bob Hayes would have caught him. so hey.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Let me bring it forward to this, what Coach Garfield Ellenwood has kind of built or rebuilt, I say, at FAMU, because we had a strong tradition under former Coach Darlene Moore, good friend of the program. And so Coach Ellenwood has rebuilt our track and field program, and he started quickly with the women's program, where we've won an outdoor SWAC title just most recently. We won an indoor, and we've been competing with Alabama State's women. Seems like consistently, aren't they usually the one that we're usually competing with? Maybe even
Prairie women too.
I was going to say Prairie View as well. So that's kind of one of those three schools are usually in the hunt. But so I want to talk about, obviously you mentioned that we had the fastest woman in the SWAC, Nia Blocker, friend of the program, where she took the 60, the 2 indoor, the 1 and the 2 outdoor. But what I found interesting, I want you to talk about Ariana Ladson, the young lady who she was not only just she was the second fastest runner outdoor, but she competed in something like 5 or 6 different events, brought in something like 19 points for FAMU in the outdoor, was the outstanding track performer. But I just, we got some stars, some young stars on this squad. And so it's kind of interesting with the young lady who just, so I want you to talk about what you see Coach Ellenwood has built over, and are we a serious contender again with Alabama State and Prairie View, who have had a good, strong tradition over the last few seasons in the SWAC?
Yes. The one thing I will give Coach Ellenwood his credit is that he's trying to hit it on all cylinders. The only thing I hadn't seen yet is, and you can only have so many people on the team, number one. But the only thing I hadn't seen as much depth in yet are the throws or whatever. But he's stocking up in the sprints. Okay, he's locking down in the sprints. He's getting more and more quality jumpers. Okay, field events matter. Okay, for those who don't follow track and field events matter. That's one of the ways how Prairie View is able to kind of stock up, you know, especially on the men's side with all the pole vaulters, jumpers, and things of that nature, whatever. But again, like I said, yes, he's being strategic because Alabama State normally dominates the distance races. So that's where they stock up a lot of points. FAMU will still get their quality points in the distances, whatever, usually. But like I said, Bama State usually do that. And then Bama State, they have their quality sprinters. But FAMU would usually, so that's why the meet always end up being close. Okay. All right. So yes, it's like I said, it's going to be one of those three teams. Okay. All right. Prairie View come in and get those quality points, you know, pretty much from top to bottom, per se. All right.
Take it over to the men's side. What's your thought? Because we've started to see our men's program get a little bit stronger. You know, Kirk Dawkins, friend of the program. We've seen some other guys really start to step up. I mean, I know it's very early in the season, but what does FAMU's indoor group look like so far to you?
Well,
the men's side.
Not only the hurdlers, man, y'all got a heck of a mile relay. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you one thing, if the SWAC comes down to the mile relay as far as team title, you know, FAMU got a good chance of taking it. But I will say this right now, aside from the sprints and the hurdles and the quarter, I give Coach Ellen with his props. He got stuff going. He has depth from the 60 all the way to the quarter, and has Mr. Dawkins, of course, in the middle distance, you know, races as well. But like I said, it's going to factor in what they look like in the jumps. Now you have Mr. Pompey in the high jump, Randall Pompey. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. So he'll get you those, you know, quality pumps, especially since the young man from Pine Bluff who has the all-time. No, matter of fact, he barely missed Donald Driver's all-time high jump record. Matter of fact, Donald Driver has the all-time high jump record in HBCU track and field. But anyway, like I said, Mr. Pompey, unless he has a bad day, probably, you know, is gonna stand a chance at winning that high jump. But like I said, the long jump and triple jump, and then the throws, those are gonna be some key areas where, you know, they're gonna have to try to find some points somewhere or whatever. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna have your Alabama A&Ms, you know, your Southerns and Prairie Views, of course, you know, Alabama State and Prairie View and Southern but Texas Southern, I'm sorry, Coach Duncan, he's been wrecking shop. Now he normally rules the distance races, okay, and that's interesting because, you know, he's always been known for being a phenomenal sprint coach, okay. So he'll get his quality points in with the sprints. He's doing good on the jumps as well. But like I said, with Coach Ellenwood or FAMU, the jumps are going to be the big question mark. The jumps, pole vault, and of course the throws. That's going to be a big question mark on how many points can they get in order to possibly win that team title.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Marcus, you got anything, any last comments or questions for Tony?
No, actually, I mean, the line of questioning that you had before was kind of where I was going to go in terms of evaluating our roster and our prospects for the SWAC competition, and also NCAA, making it either East Regionals or maybe making NCAA.
And the one thing I will say about this gentleman, not to cut you off, but the one thing about track and field is that, you know, that's where the least politics going to take place. It don't matter who you beat last week. You still got to line up and run, jump, and throw. Okay. It don't matter what rankings, etc. If you can't beat him or her, then you just can't beat him or her. All right. So I know in football, you know, there was this big ordeal when Alabama State didn't get a chance to go to the SWAC, you know, title game and all this and all that. You ain't got to worry about that in track. If you can run, jump, and throw better than the next person, and hey, you're gonna advance. Okay.
Rankings are based on your numbers and your distance.
Results.
That's it.
Legit results.
Results
right.
matter. Results
not
matter.
Style points. Ain't no style points. You know, style points don't even factor into the equation.
Tony, do you do an aggregate, or do you put a listing on your site of the best times in various over the course of a season, like the when we're in indoor season? Do you kind of do a tracking, or do you put a link to somewhere to do all that? Because I know a lot of people in we love rankings, so we love to kind of see where people are.
Yes, I honestly don't do the rankings. I just keep people updated so they'll know who's doing what, and then at the end I create an all HBCU team. That's something that hadn't been done before.
Okay.
And all
there
HBCU
you go.
track and field, both indoor and outdoor. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. All right, so I'm looking at the schedule here, the FAMU schedule. We are going to we're going to Gainesville this weekend, running in the Jimmy Carnes Invite. That's an indoor meet in Gainesville. So that's where the Rattler men and women will be. And then at the end of the month, we go up to Clemson, South Carolina for the Bob Pollock Invitational. Then we go to Chicago first weekend in February. And then, like you said, the middle of February, right back in Birmingham for the SWAC Indoors.
There we go. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
All right. Tony, we got to have you back on just before the SWAC Indoors, man.
Okay.
And then you can we can kind of double back and kind of recap what you've seen and maybe give us some early predictions and feelers for what we can expect in the SWAC Indoors. All right. Can we book you for that Wednesday before the SWAC Indoor?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do that. Let's do that.
I love it.
Okay?
Love it, man.
And gentlemen, thank you all again, man, because you just don't know how passionate I am about this. Okay, so thank you all for this invite. Okay.
Thank you for what you do.
Hey, no, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for all you do to educate, inform, and that's what it's all about. So again, make sure you're following HBCU track_field on Twitter. HBCUtrackandfield.com is the website, and also on Facebook, HBCU Track and Field. Tony, T.A. Austin, thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Be well.
Hey, brother, just one correction. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's hbcutrackandfield.wordpress.com. Okay.
Okay. No worries. Try. Okay. hbcutrackandfield.wordpress.com. All right. Perfect. Appreciate you. We'll make sure to put that out there again. We'll send people the links and all that good stuff. But again, Tony, thank you, man. Be well. Enjoy the season. And we definitely will be following and retweeting and reposting whenever and however we can. All right.
Thank you, gentlemen. You guys have a
thank you.
Have a nice night. All right. Good evening to you.
All right. All right. Good stuff. Oh man.
Yeah, take a drink, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
What you got in that cup?
Don't worry about what I got in this cup. Marcus, did you see my note about the young lady?
Yes, I was just answering that. And actually I could pull it up, and she's I think I shared it last week. If you pull up the 2025, because I did a roster update in early December, because there are a whole bunch of names that got added, but I don't think their classifications are correct based on when I did my digging. You know, some of them list a lot of them as freshmen, and some of them are not. So I don't know if you go in the Google Drive and what I shared with the 2025 Olympic
I do
sports.
actually have the one that says 2025 commits.
Yes, for Olympic
Is that
sports.
the one you're talking about?
And it should update,
Yeah.
and we can go specifically to the track ones. Hopefully it's the latest one, but I think I uploaded last week or 2 weeks ago, and we did get a 2026 track commit. Apparently he's run the fastest hurdles in the state of New York. I think he just committed, I want to say Monday. Yep, so these are all people that committed. When we start, I think I left them in the green. So when we get to the folks that are in the green, then like this young lady, she's a transfer from Tayana Adams. I just saw something about her on Twitter or something. But she's a transfer. She's from Miami, but she spent a year at Barton Community College in Kansas. And it seemed like we're getting a lot of the track athletes either from JUCOs. I forgot the one that's out. I want to say in Iowa or somewhere, but like there's one that seems like they're just pumping out. It's the one that DeAndre Gaines is from. I've forgotten the name of it, but they've been very at the very top. Now she's a freshman. She's from Atlanta.
When he just talking about Kenshin, right? He was just talking about her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think she's part of the 4x1. Mm-hmm.
Gaines at the UAB Blazer invitation.
There we go. There she is right there.
She was second in the 60 meters at 7.36, and Tiana Adams was 8th at 7.82. And blockers didn't run in that meet. So that's what he's saying. So what he's saying is we still dominating against non-HBCU competition, and we still not running all our top sprinters yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So DeAndre, she's from Hines. I think it's Hines Community College or one of the other colleges, like a top track program at the end. It's either Division I or Division II of the junior college organization. But there's like one school that seems like to be always in the top three. But that's the young lady that he was talking about, that Tony was talking about.
Yeah, Kenshin, Clark, and Latson, they were 2, 3, and 4 in the 200 meters.
Mm-hmm. Let me spell sprints there. But Linnea Green from Ocoee. She's a freshman. Now she's a freshman. Okay. You could tell, by the length of the size of the quick bio, who's a transfer. You could tell DeAndre. And some of them I can't tell because they're coming from like at least a couple of athletes. I think there's Kernan and there's another athlete from the Caribbean. So I'm assuming she transferred from USF. And I think she got Performer of the Week this week.
Yeah, thank you. I was just about to say that. She did. She got the SWAC track Performer Athlete of the Week on the track.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of following up to see what she performed in. I was just on the SWAC page here, or actually I was on our FAMU athletics.com website. Let's see. She had a breakout performance in the 200 meter race where hold on, let me pull it up. She ran a first place time of 38.89 in the it's the 300 meter, not the 200, the 300 meter. Well, I'm reading one place, I'm reading 200, and another place I'm reading 3. So maybe there is a, let me see. I'm looking at FAMUwebsite.com. Amani Kernan first in the 38.39 to 300 meters. So, okay. So there you go. So already a SWAC performance of the week. I think this might be the first or the second one.
Yeah, I don't recall. So there's another young
Kyla
lady
Morton.
Mm-hmm. And she's doing the high jump. I remember a couple of years ago when we had the young lady who transferred from a junior college and was doing the high jump for us, and that helped us secure. I want to say, I don't know if it was the indoor, it might have been the outdoor.
Oh, you talking about Brown Marshall? You talking about Brianna Brown Marshall? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think she transferred. I forgot where she transferred to. I think she probably got some NIL opportunities. I think she went to a bigger school, a P4, P5, or whatever. I think. Don't quote me on that. Morton at the most recent race, she ran. She's in the high jump, a 1.66 meters, a personal record for her.
And I think this might be the last one. Mania
Tidwell. You think Tidwell's the last one?
I think so. The last one of the track.
Nope. There's a couple more.
Oh, okay.
These are guys. Evan Brown. You got a whole skew of these here. Did I never get to these? Man. Josiah Gaynor.
Yeah, these are roster updates because I checked like in early December That's what I have there. And I was like, oh my gosh, where all these names come from? So I was trying to scramble to compile all the information.
What do you mean, Edwin? We messed up. What is Edwin talking about? We messed up.
Oh, we sent the young lady, DeAndre Gaines from Mississippi.
Yeah, we got so much speed and depth with sprints and the 100 to 200, the hurdles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we don't
He
have
was
many
a late addition.
seniors. Yeah.
I think he's a true freshman. And that picture's from, I think you ran in the juniors. Yeah, right there. The 2025 AAU Junior Olympics, and he won the gold medal in the 800. He's out of Detroit.
Tyan Reed. Williamson the third, no picture.
I couldn't find a good picture.
Yeah.
But he's out of, I think he's out of NAIA.
Yeah. I noticed Coach got a lot more depth on the men's team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not on the men's team is built different. As TA was saying, on the women's side, it's built on sprints and relays. On the men's side, he has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he does.
He have more jumpers, he have more hurdlers. He still have, a couple of strong sprinters. Then of course, middle distance, he got some difference makers. So I'm interested to see the jump the men make if they stay healthy this year.
Yeah, some of the highlights again from the UAB Blazer Green and Gold invite. Leonard Mastari had a meet record 7.65 to win the 60-meter hurdles. Of course, we talked about DeAndre Gaines, the 60-meter title winner, 7.36, which right now is number one among HBCUs and a top 10 national time. Randall Pompey, a 2.11 meters in the men's high jump, which is number one among HBCUs and a top 15 in the NCAA. Jade Ann Smith dominated the women's triple jump with a winning leap of 12.34 meters, earning a top 25 NCAA and top 3 HBCU status. Darian Lawrence had a 21.21 in the men's 200 meter, which is top 15 nationally and top 5 among HBCUs. And then Janari Kinchin, of course, Kirsten Clark, delivered breakout performances in the women's 200 meter, both posting top 25 NCAA times. And of course, as previously mentioned, the SWAC Indoor Track and Field Athlete of the Week is Amani Kinnon. So congratulations, Amani. Wow. I'm curious. I'd love to know the voting with all the stuff that we just read. How did the SWAC coaches come up with, who's going to be your nominee for the week? That's interesting. But I tell you, man, the fascinating world of track and field, man. Good stuff. Oh, let's say, Marcus, some of this. Where are you referring to? Some of it's incorrect, Marcus.
The classification. Well,
I've seen it. It looks different in two different places. Like the article will say one thing, and then if you go to their profile, it says something different.
Yeah, I'm sorry. On the profile, just because like we're just looking at the information that was compiled for each person. So on their profile on the roster might say they're a freshman, but there's no way, based on the year of high school graduation, that some of them are freshmen. Like DeAndre Gaines, she's not a freshman. She apparently graduated when I did digging on the internet. She graduated in 2020, 2021, and she has run track at the JUCO and Pittsburgh State. I think they're Div 2. So, she's not a freshman. So there might be a little bit of disconnect in terms of the classification.
Oh, I found my man. I'm sorry. Okay. I just found a video for, we were showing highlights of the FAMU men's versus Grambling. I couldn't find it during the segment when we were talking about it, but I just found the highlight video. But anyway, that's another time. That's another. I may retweet it or post it somewhere on IG or something. I don't know. Okay, man, fascinating, man. Appreciate again Tony Austin, TA, for coming in and joining us, man. Make sure you guys are following HBCU track_field on Twitter. Make sure you find HBCU Track and Field on Facebook, and then hbcutrackandfield.wordpress.com on the internet. And he does a really, and it is, look, man, there's 5 major conferences. Again, you talk about, you know what, this is what's so unique about our space, guys. There are somebody like him, and, he's probably one of just maybe probably less than a handful of people who cover. Right now, there's not too many other people who cover HBCU track and field the way he does it. Right. It's very similar to our friends at Black College Nines. There aren't too many people who cover HBCU baseball the way they cover it, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there is somebody in the softball world, but it's big enough. It's a big enough sport that, I applaud the one guy or girl or gal or whatever, however you want to say it, the one person who's out there covering it, because it's a grind. We talk about, trust me, as someone who we talk about all kinds of sports for just one school, man, that's a grind. That takes time. With the stuff you guys see Marcus do, man, that takes time. The stuff that we do, man, and that's just one school. Mm-hmm. One school.
Yeah, stuff that Liv does.
Yeah, the stuff that Liv does, man, that's why I said. So whenever we get a chance to bring those people on, please make sure y'all follow them and support their content, because they're doing it for a passion. And when you support, you thumbs up, you like, you follow, you retweet, you share, man, all that stuff is encouraging to them. And they probably maybe fall asleep at the computer, fall asleep on the couch. I done it all. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, let me post something. Let me do something. And yeah, so. All right. We're in the overtime. Hold on, I got some sound. Hold on, let me see if I can play some sound. Now that we're in overtime. Overtime here on the O&G StrikeZone. Marcus, you see my man wants to know about some recruits, man. Hollow's like any new football recruits. You want to go there? Let's go there.
I did not see that. Actually, I was looking on Twitter.
I'm gonna give you a second. I'm gonna play a clip from, because since we didn't have Coach Gray on today, I had clipped a particular clip that I wanted to show prior to Coach coming on, so we can kind of react to the press conference for a minute. But let me play this clip, and I give Marcus a chance to load up the computer, or at least tell me where to go to load up the.
I have not uploaded, but actually, thanks to Kelvin, because I was otherwise occupied before I came on the show. We did get a talk about quarterback. Yeah, we got a transfer quarterback, and his roots start at Dillard High School. And actually, in his commitment tweet, I'm assuming his parents or family have on Dillard. Look like they all have on Dillard paraphernalia. So he started at this is James Hayes. He's transferring from Alabama State, but he's 6'4", 230. So he's like a.
Wait a minute. Send me the. Hold on, Mark. Hold on a second. Send me the.
I have not uploaded.
To find it. So I can at least put the picture up of the brother.
You want me to? I can share my screen, because actually I was updating my PowerPoint.
Yeah, share the screen. If you got it up, share the screen. That way we can let the people see what you see.
All right. That's the
people want the market. They want the Marcus Green report. Hold on, while you do that, let me play my clip while you do that.
Let's talk about a couple things. As the leader of this program, let me help you understand who I am not. I am not the 19-year-old Quinn Gray that played against Youngstown State over 30 years ago. If you are still living in that decade, shame on you. I am not the Quinn Gray who was getting his first coaching role here in 2010, 2011. I am not that Quinn Gray. I am the Quinn Gray who's a Division II national championship coach who just led a school to 12 wins, the highest wins in a university's history. And I am a leader of men that is going to take this program back to where it wants and needs and always should be, and that's at the top, not only of HBCU football, but FCS football.
That's a bar. That's a bar. That's my coach. That's my coach, boy. When my coach said that at the prep, I was like, yo, I was hoping to be able to find out when he processed that in his mind, because you always look to win the press conference and say something dynamic. Yo, that was dynamic. That was the soundbite of sound bites.
Mm-hmm. And right off the rip.
Right off the bat. Right off the bat. That is like, whoa, okay, coach. Let us know. I am a leader of men. I am not that guy that some of y'all been living in the past thinking about.
Yeah.
Man, that was awesome. All right. Yeah. EA said, okay, that's a great suggestion, EA. I'm gonna have to get a soundbite clip. You're right. I like that soundbite idea. I'm going to get that soundbite. Marcus. All right, let me share the screen. Marcus is like, don't you dare. All right, here we go.
All right. I'm not doing the slideshow presentation thing. I always mess that up. I can't even.
No, you don't. Go. Okay, look, I'm going to help you out.
Because I'm just doing this
Go hit presentation. Go to presentation. Just hit presentation.
Nah, man, come on.
I promise you, you hit presentation, it'll work. See? There you go.
Well, yeah, but now I can't see. I can't see y'all.
Well, you don't need to see us. We see you. You can hear us.
So this is old news. We have 2 signees in the early signing period, and apparently, according to Jerry Recruiting, he's already on campus.
Yeah, early enroll.
He's an early enroll. So Jordan Davis, lineman out of MacArthur High School, and he transferred in from Western High School, Davie, and I want to say they made it deep in the class. I want to say Class 6A playoffs last year, or maybe 7A. Yep, there was 2 regional finals. So basically 2 away from the state title in Class 7A, and they might have made it to the same level this year in Class 5A for transferring to MacArthur High School. The next one, Shamari Bowens. And actually, I did see, I didn't post it here, but I posted it in the pit, that both Shamari Bowens and one of our verbal commits that right now is in that other list with the guy, doing like that, Anthony Bell out of Miami Northwestern High School, were named as the top O-line performers in the Broward-Dade All-Star game at the end of December. So nice. This player, is, I don't know if he's going to start school early, but he signed in December. And Anthony Bell, I don't know what the status happens to be on his commitment and whether the new staff is committed to him. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But both of them were listed as top performers in the Dade Broward All-Star game. So that bodes well. First commitment, I did not see anything or sign, but I'm assuming this is legit. And after Coach Gray got on board because of the graphic at the bottom, the all in. So I know that's the moniker, the branding that they're using for most of the players that commit. So I'm assuming that this young man, Terrell James, is coming in. You see, won a state title at Lake Wales in 2022. And then, he had, a cup of tea at one or two, at least one FBS school, one FCS school. So he's committed, so that will bring us some help on the outside. And then we started to get into some of the others. So there's a high school commit, Armand Parker, out of Locust Grove, Georgia. And so he's 6'1", 185, and they made a pretty decent run in the playoffs this year after not making it the previous year. But I know Mr. Campbell has been really promoting Mr. Parker, and I believe his QB trainer is former SWAC All-World QB Bruce Eugene, as he also retweeted his commitment post.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Herndon. So now we're going to get into the slew. I think there's 3 Albany State transfers that happened the first week right after the New Year's. So Xavier Herndon at tight end. Isaiah Knowles, I guess probably the biggest thing, the quarterback coming over. So he knows the system. He knows how Coach Gray wants
QB1
experience. It brings experience. So now we have a young quarterback coming as a freshman, and then we have an experienced quarterback who knows the system and knows how things to run. And you'll see, we also, as I mentioned, we went to the slideshow mode, that we got a transfer quarterback from Alabama State who, on all 3 are kind of like different. So I guess Mr. Knowles is, stated 5'11", 180. So he's, a dual threat, but probably on the smaller side. Then you get a little bit bigger with the freshman, Armand Parker. And then when you see James Hayes, he's like 6'4", 230. So he's like a Quinn Gray clone in terms of size. And then Corey Petty, he won a state title at Warner Robins in the 2021 season. His class of 2022, and actually he was teammates with a former FAMU signee who I believe now is at Alabama A&M, Davion Walker, wide receiver. They're both teammates at teammates at Warner Robins High School and won their Class 5A state title. And Winton Jones out of Palmetto High School, he committed last week, and they made it to the state semifinals in Class 7A. Miami Herald hasn't released their all-day team yet, so I haven't yet to see if he was named to that team as a performer. So it'll be interesting to see some of the postseason accolades. Recently, Taylor Smallwood, I believe, committed, 11th? Was that Sunday?
Yeah.
So he's a transfer. He's originally out of Atlanta, but he was at Lafayette College and then Tennessee Chattanooga. And DJ Moore, a quarterback from the Bowl School. And then went to Coastal Carolina, and then I guess at Highland CC. I couldn't find any highlights yet, but he committed also. So now we're up to at least 3 QB commitments, and then we have a 4th one today.
I've seen the highlights for him, and I look, okay, so I'm going to apologize because I was trying to find info on him on Twitter via, the got him or the information, but then come to find out by everybody, he's on Instagram, and all the info is on Instagram. And so my bad, DJ Moore. Appreciate all of those who contributed to clarifying things for me. But yeah, but I have seen his highlights on Twitter though. He's got his, he's not very active on Twitter, but he did post his like huddle clips or his huddle highlights.
Yeah, it looked like Twitter practice clips or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't go that deep.
But I don't think he's reposted this graphic. Someone shared it with me on Instagram.
Gotcha.
So now we basically have 4 quarterback commits, 3 transfers, and a high school athlete. So I don't know. I guess that kind of puts the writing on the wall for our other verbal commit from Jacksonville Reigns, but who knows?
Well, all right.
If everything comes through, because we're still in the portal, so things could change.
Yeah.
And this is the last one that I happened to see today, thanks to Kelvin. He sent it to us. James Hayes.
Transfer from Alabama State is where he was last season.
Mm-hmm.
And he was what,
right,
third on the depth chart?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. I think he got a start against Miles in 2024, maybe as a true freshman. But I don't know to what degree. I didn't see any other footage of there, but he just committed. And actually, we offered him in 2021. I think we were still at Dillard coming out of the COVID season, and Dillard, I want to say, made it to the title game or the second or the semifinals of the Tri-County playoffs during the COVID season that were being held down in the the Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach areas. And so that next fall, I think we offered him. So that was under Coach Simmons. And so I happened to find that he mentioned that on his Instagram feed. And I found that after we re-offered him probably a couple weeks ago. So I thought that was the first time we had offered him. But then I found that we had offered him back in 2021.
So we got 4 QBs. Now the question is, are all 4 coming to spring camp, spring ball? I mean, what is that? Or is it too early to know just yet?
Don't know. That'd be a question. Well, I guess they have to sign, commitment. Coach Gray really can't talk about anyone until they physically sign.
The freshmen probably not. The other 3, yes.
Okay. All right.
And then after that, after this was the questionable folks that committed under the previous coaching staff. But there are a couple that I would like. I really like the young man, Cedric Kelly. I mean, he's electric, and they just won a state title for Class 4A in Georgia. So I'd really like to see him. Of course, it's the prerogative of the coaching staff, but I'd really like to see him, and I'd like to see Anthony. Well, I mean, I'm not hating on any of them.
We'll have to find a way to get some of his huddle. We'll have to show some of his huddle clips next week, maybe.
And not any disrespect to any of the verbal comments from previous, but I'd like to see him and Anthony Bell.
Yeah.
And also, I know that Coach Gray mentioned putting a fence up around the Big Bend area, and we did get a commitment in early fall from Jalen Lurie out of FSU, out of Florida High. So I don't know, if that, where that falls in terms of the coaching transition, but he made, and I might not have it here because I might not have updated this slide, but he did make first team all Big Tallahassee Democrat Big Bend team. And he had over 1,000 yards this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hopeful, that things work out and things haven't fallen between the cracks and that there's enough mutual interest there. But all 3 of them on offense, and I know we need to work on defense. But I just like these three players coming in to help bolster and provide some quality depth and then emerging, as the years progress. But we don't know, what's going to transpire. All right.
Good stuff, Marcus, man. As always, good stuff. So via Matt shared the information that Coach Gray shared today at the 220 Club. That practices start February 23rd. You'll do 8 practices before spring break, 7 coming out of spring break. The O&G, I love that. Appreciate you, V and Matt. The O&G game is April 4th.
We title sponsors.
Title sponsor. Hey, we got to work on that. Title sponsor. The Orange Degree game brought to you by the O&G StrikeZone.
That's right. And I saw someone ask a question about special teams commits. I haven't seen any, but it seemed like we had kickers galore last year. I don't know if there was somebody behind Porto that would be suitable. Who knows? And I typically, what I've seen in recent years, that I don't know. We kind of.
Who's the kid from Virginia Union? The kicker from, was it Souza? Now, is he? There's been a kicker on social media that's been kind of following a few people. You know what I'm talking about?
From a couple of years ago.
No, like over the past two weeks.
No, I have not seen.
No, okay. If I come across it, I'll see it. But I know, and I couldn't tell whether he was. whether he was trying to get onto the HBCU, the Legacy Bowl roster, or if he was looking for a home. I don't know. So, and look, who's to say, it's not too late for guys like Porto and those guys to come back. I know I heard Coach Gray said that they're talking to several guys that they want back.
I thought I saw something. I hadn't confirmed, but I thought I saw something or someone mentioned that Porto might have signed with Coastal Carolina along with Goldie Lawrence.
Yeah.
He did.
I haven't gone to Porto's website, but I know Goldie Lawrence signed with Coastal Carolina.
Signed or committed?
Hold on, I'm gonna go right now to you. Hold on, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna go to the Hero Sports transfer portal for FCS here, if I can find it quickly. Where's the FCS portal? Here it is, the FCS to FCS portal. So you were thinking he went from FAMU to somewhere else?
To Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina. Yeah, they both posted.
They're FBS.
It's Coastal. Coastal is FBS?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, go to okay, so the FCS team would be Florida A&M. Right now, only showing Goldie Lawrence as being the only one to go to Coastal Carolina. Now, that's as of today. Now, I mean, maybe he hadn't. Maybe it's not official yet. I don't know. I'm reading the HeroSports.com FCS to FBS tracker. So.
The portal closes on Friday in terms of the window, but once you're in there, you're still, you can still find a place.
You're still available, yeah. I thought it was Sunday. You said it's Friday. I thought it was Sunday.
No, it's 16th.
16th. I'm sorry.
Oh, so that is Friday.
It is Friday.
Yeah,
it is Friday.
Friday, 11:59 p.m.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's the opportunity to put your name in the portal, but you're still available until.
Exactly. Once you're in, you're in. You're there.
Mm-hmm. So, and I was trying to check the roster to see where we had depth with kickers, but to kind of answer that question.
Right. So
position.
We can officially say, or according to this, we can say goodbye to Goldie Lawrence, who has moved on. We can also say goodbye to, let's see, Tyler Jefferson's now at Bethune.
Mm-hmm. Our freshman offensive lineman David Gardner transferred to Austin P. He announced that, I think, yesterday. Or he committed. I'm sorry. So that one was kind of a bummer because
it's not official on their site yet, but I don't know. I saw what you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it just hadn't been
signed
and sealed yet.
And Miles Campbell committed to, was it UT? Was it San Antonio?
UTSA, yeah, UTSA.
So that's 4. I think I want to say there's a 5th, but I'm not sure.
Hollow with the question. I don't know, asking about people losing scholarships when in the portal. Interesting question.
Well,
I guess it's coach's prerogative.
If they still in the portal, 9 times out of 10, yes. I mean that they didn't get picked up by anybody and they don't have a home. If they have a home, if they're going back to the old school, they withdraw from the portal. So if their name still appear in the portal after it closes, they're still looking for a home.
Have you seen any movement is Haley officially back?
Yeah, he back.
I thought he was.
Yeah, he back.
All right, Haley's back.
He back.
He back.
So taking so long.
Where is this? I saw. If you can, I don't know if you guys want to mention, if you want me to mention this or not. I saw Liv posted something where we're talking about the portal here. This is some news that came out this afternoon while we're talking about the portal. College basketball portal news. College basketball will have a new transfer portal window opening the day after the national title game. Because remember, last year it was during the tournament, right? And so immediately after the national title game, and it'll last 15 days per the NCAA news and the Division I cabinet. So I think you're starting to see consolidation or consistency maybe with the portal. So that way, it's a 2-week window, 15 days, whatever. And if you're going to go. But obviously, like we've said here with football, the recruitment continues, but then more importantly, do you get in school? So here's the thing for all these guys who are in the portal, and if they don't jump onto a school right now so that they can enroll in the spring, that means they're sitting out, hopefully working out, going to a school, and then they're going to be looking to catch on with somebody starting the summer session. Because
don't forget though, some schools don't start till the end of January. Not everybody's started like us.
Well, if that's another important factor, I guess, that goes into when school starts and how late. So just for example, how long could a student enroll at FAMU and still be eligible, for this semester? Do you know, Kelvin?
Yeah, I think drop ad goes through for the summers mid-February, early mid-February, I think.
So conceivably, somebody could technically still enroll at FAMU in the late January and still be okay for this.
They could. I wouldn't advise it, but they could. We're a real academic school.
I was gonna say, to be scholarship, you got to take what? Is it still 12 hours, 4 classes?
Yep. To be a full FTE, you got to take at least 12 hours. Take and pass.
Hopefully we
pass.
have those. Okay, see, I love the way you say. I was just saying, hopefully we have those athletic friendly. Although that don't help us with APR, but anyway, I was gonna say finding athletic friendly courses to take. That if I miss a month of school in January, it's not gonna hurt me too bad, right? I'll leave it at that. I'll stop. Okay. Well, I think we've kind of covered a lot in today's show. Again, sorry that we didn't get a chance to talk to Quinn Gray this show, but Coach was very busy dealing with recruiting related stuff.
He's finishing up portal stuff, and
we understand
and obligations, but he's committed again, and we'll see where we are next week.
Right. So we'll have more of our stuff ready for next week. So appreciate you guys tuning in with us again. Basketball. Again, the ladies are taking on Mississippi Valley State, scheduled for 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. Okay, I'm looking here at the FAMU Athletics calendar. 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. Fingers crossed that it's on SWAC TV. Worst case, it might be on Mississippi Valley's YouTube feed if they don't, because they used to be real heavy on YouTube, but supposedly everybody was supposed to be moving their stuff to SWAC. The doubleheader on Saturday is at UAPB. The women's game starts at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 Central. The men will follow 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 Central, or roughly 30 minutes after the women's game. Something like that. Again, Arkansas Pine Bluff men unbeaten right now in SWAC play going into the weekend. And then the men will travel back to Valley on Monday, January 19th, MLK Day, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Edwin said tutors to catch up. All right. Well, again, the QR code in the corner on the screen is to support and be a donor in the All In Restore to Strike campaign.
All in, win with Quinn.
All in for Quinn. So let's see. Somebody do a quick peek. Are we over 300 donors yet? Let me look. I'm going to do a quick scan from my phone. Scan the QR code. See if we're over 300 yet. Total is loading. Come on. We haven't gone up. Come on. Some of you guys. Come on. We need to up it. We need to get 4 new people. I need 4 new people before it hits midnight. We got 59 minutes or less to get 5 new donors. So if you have not given to the All In Restore to Strike campaign, let's get over 300 tonight. Let's get over. So here's your great opportunity. Scan that QR code in the top right corner. Doesn't have to be 250. 250 is great. But we'll take what you got. If it's 100, great. If it's 50, great. 25, great. We'll take it. We just need to continue pouring in dollars into this campaign. So congratulations again to all of the major contributors and sponsors. Thanks to all of Rattler Nation who's been a part of it. We're going to clip that segment with Marvin Green and get that running out on social media, so on and so forth. Sign my sister up. I can't be speaking for other people. She's going to say, give me the money. I'm going to sign you up with my money. I might as well sign you. Anyway. All right. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's show. Any closing thoughts, Kelvin?
No, sir.
Marcus, any closing thoughts?
No, but I do have something in the works. Actually, we're working on it. I don't know if I do much more on it, but I looked at Quinn's or Coach Gray's last 3 recruiting classes, Albany State, to try to get a profile of how many transfers versus high school students signed. So I have that. Maybe we could go over that next week, either before or after his interview.
I love
See, it'll give us a preview of what we should expect, even though circumstances might not be the same based on a lot of different things, but at least it'll give us some idea.
All right. Maybe we'll even kind of see if we can, we gave you an idea of some of the names that were going to be coaches, part of the staff. We maybe get some unofficial images to show as well. We'll try to narrow that down. Of course, all of that stuff is unofficial until it becomes official by the university.
Well, but I will say, if you go to the basketball games, you do run into some people.
Some people?
And dap them up. And glad to see you. Glad to be here.
Some congratulations notes in there.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Okay.
Because they do support Rattler basketball.
Oh, well, we love it. We love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right. Well, all right. All right. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you for watching. Even if you're watching it on replay, we appreciate you. Go check out the BCSN Pod Zone everywhere that you download podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, BCSN Pod Zone. But make sure you're following us on all of the social media handles. And let's restore the strike, because we are all in for Quinn, for my guys, Marcus and Kelvin. Again, we'd like to thank Marvin Green for joining the show, and Tony T.A. Austin for joining us, HBCU Track and Field.wordpress.com. Look for him on Facebook and Twitter as well. I'm Bryan Fulford. I am still petty. That's who I am. That's what I'm going to be in 2026. I ain't changing for y'all. All right, that's going to do it. God bless y'all. Be well. Be safe. Bangs up. Let's get out there and let's strike hard in Mississippi and in Arkansas. God bless y'all. Peace out.